yeah, from time, shaking up the norm, you know why. Original, tell you why. Basic, yo, that's your guy. I got different hands and pies, international ties, in the studio till sunrise. You know what, on that grind, disruptive, yeah, from time, shaking up the norm, you know why. Original, tell you why. Basic, yo, that's your guy. I got different hands and pies, international ties, in the studio till sunrise. Okay, it's never enough. Okay, it's never enough. Life can get so mad and life can get so tough. They can't handle nothing, that's why I do this stuff. That's why I wrote this stuff, that's how we hold it down, this love. Hit Istanbul like 3-4, when I call me that's plus 44. You know me, you know the score, you know what the hell we do this for. They wanna sleep in the name like Moldavore. I'm around but they wanna pull me to go. I know what they're saying but really though, this flame just burning in my soul. Are you a villain, are you an angel? Are you willing, are you able? Are you a villain, are you an angel? Are you willing, are you able? You know what, on that grind, disruptive, yeah, from time, shaking up the norm, you know why. Original, tell you why. Basic, yo, that's your guy. I got different hands and pies, international ties, in the studio till sunrise. You know what, on that grind, disruptive, yeah, from time, shaking up the norm, you know why. Original, tell you why. Basic, yo, that's your guy. Got different hands and pies, international ties, in the studio till sunrise. Stumble like 3-4, when I call me that's plus 44. You know me, you know the score, you know what the hell we do this for. They wanna sleep in the name like Moldavore. I'm around but they wanna call me to go. I know what they're saying but really though, this flame just burning in my soul. Are you a villain, are you an angel? Are you willing, are you able? Are you a villain, are you an angel? Are you willing, are you able? Yeah. You know what, on that grind, disruptive, yeah, from time, shaking up the norm, you know why. Original, tell you why. Basic, yo, that's your guy. I got different hands and pies, international ties, in the studio till sunrise. You know what, on that grind, disruptive, yeah, from time, shaking up the norm, you know why. Original, tell you why. Basic, yo, that's your guy. Got different hands and pies, international ties, in the studio till sunrise.
What? What? No!
Shit.
What? Guest. What?
Camera.
What the flip is going on? What the?
Channel weird.
What the? Hey, this is. Oh yeah. Oh. This. Oh yeah. There. Bye, Jess. Leave me in the dark. We are live. We are live. And we've got Jess Corden. And the name tag's there. And it's got the wrong camera. I can do both cameras. I didn't even know that. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Septic Sauce. The stress of figuring it out oh my days. Jez looks like he's on the scene of Fight Club as he's about that tinge of green. That color correction reminds me of that. Those what happened to the freaking amazing curtains that we used to love?
I knew you'd ask about the curtain.
Oh,
the curtains are gone. They're gone forever.
Why? I love those curtains. And now we can just see the awkward case of your creams there next to you. There's no tissues, thank God. But
well, we got moisturizer, which I want to get rid of, and steroids for all kinds of skin problems I'm having.
Oh yeah, we talked about that last time.
Yeah, it's a nightmare, but you know.
That's what happens when you get older.
Also, vitamin D.
Yeah, you love
good
the D.
old vitamin D.
You love the D.
Love a bit of D. You know?
You love a bit of D. Love a bit of D in the morning. How you been, man?
Oh, I'm tired, man.
Yeah, I can tell because the camera has you literally on the bottom right corner of your screen.
Let's try and get that bit. So
There we go. Let's see a bit of your face, your body, your nipples. There we go.
Fucking insects everywhere, man.
What, up north already? A little bit of sun and boom. Where are you based? You're up near
I'm in Bavaria right now.
Huh?
No, I'm in Bavaria.
Oh,
I'm in
so
South
you're in
Germany
Bavaria.
right now. Yeah, so like a bit of warmth, and then in the countryside, suddenly it's just insects everywhere.
Shit, so
Insects for days.
You move about quite a bit then, between.
I do, yeah, I do.
So your girlfriend is in Bavaria.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Oh shit.
So I visited quite a lot, ahead of us figuring out where we want to permanently settle down, I suppose. But yeah, for now, back and forth between the good old United of the Kingdoms.
Isn't Germany better though? Their healthcare's better.
It's
food is shit though.
They've got
German's food's a bit shit.
ain't got an NHS, kind of. It's like the employer pays half your health insurance, so it's kind of like the halfway point between America's and Britain's healthcare system.
Oh, is it? Okay.
I think overall, I think it is rated better than Britain's, but
because England's going down the toilet, man. Just we're getting murked. We're getting taxed to shit. Roads suck. There's like a crater the size of Jason Schreier everywhere on the roads in London. Don't ask me why I said that. It's just round. But it's just, I don't know. It's weird. I don't know. I think the UK's not what it used to be, and we've got a crap government. Everything's just, I don't know. Or is it just us English people have to have a little whinge like, it's all shit. It's all shit.
Well, it's similar arguments in Germany right now. Everyone's kind of. I think everywhere global is just kind of. I don't know anyone is happy anywhere with their government right now.
I'll tell you who's happy. Paris Lily's happy. He's like one of those places where he went to San Diego, which is a beautiful place, beach and everything. And you know what it was like? He said to me, "I'm not moving here from here ever." That's how nice it is. Everyone I met at San Diego said the same thing, and I'm like, "Holy shit!" They don't even have a grass is greener complex. They just love it. They're that's amazing.
Where is San Diego?
San Diego's in California. Yeah, just south.
Oh, right.
Yeah, south of San Fran. South of San Fran? Yeah, or maybe southwest. I don't know. I drove there. It was beautiful. Beautiful place. I would actually live there. It is so nice there.
Better than Birmingham.
Anything's better than Birmingham, bro. I'll send you to the most messed up place in Pakistan. You'll be like, this is better than Birmingham. I hate Birmingham. Every time I've been to Birmingham, it's been shit. It's so shit. It's so shit.
Birmingham's it is a bit.
I don't know, man. There's got nothing going on. It's just, and there's like Birmingham, and it's just sort of the accent doesn't do it for me. My missus is from Manchester, so it's a bit weird. I don't know. I don't like it. Birmingham's just shit. It just reminds me of that not Excel, whatever that thing is where they have their conferences, and it just go nightlife is shit. Everyone's just weird. I don't know. I don't like it. Up north though, Manchester's nice. I liked Manchester. Manchester was beautiful actually. It's quite a nice city. I met Sean there. Sean 786. He's brilliant. Really nice guy. Nightlife there's pretty chill as well. And I was like, yo, this is nice. I can't do anything now.
You need a Kevlar vest for Birmingham these days.
I'm from London, bruv. Kevlar's default character trait. It's just like everywhere. It got stabbed. Oh, the other day someone just got. Oh, what happened, man? I was trying to get coffee from there. I can't even get it. I'm like, oh yeah, someone just got stabbed up there. That's why. Oh right, okay.
It's shooters in Birmingham at the moment. Shootings all the time. Yeah, we've taken a step
guns and shit. Got guns and shit.
I don't know where they're getting them.
I don't know where they get.
They're taking a step up on Birmingham.
Bro,
but Birmingham City Council went fully bankrupt a few years ago.
Bro.
And the bin men have been on strike for like literally about a year.
Damn.
It's pretty rough out there at the moment.
Yeah, man. It's kind of mad. It's like we are councils across London. Sorry, the chat. This is politics. But councils across the UK are bankrupt, and so what you've got now is police giving out tickets actively, like parking tickets. My dad got a ticket for no brake lights being broken and a seatbelt that he just got into his car. And they're literally got vans out there just watching to see if you're on your phone. The police are not clocking crime now. They're just trying to squeeze money.
Raise money.
Yeah, councils squeezing money. Masses of enforcement action for planning, and also it's good for lawyers because I got a shit ton of cases where councils are being murking my clients, but it's not a nice kind of matter to deal with. It's a bit shit. It's just you can tell like it's really bad. It's really bad.
It's rough. But hey ho, we got video games.
We got video games, but before we go with video games,
for now.
yeah, we got video games for now. But don't worry, hey Jez, relax. AI is coming to save us. Or
oh yeah.
Yeah. I am one of the most I feel like I'm one of the most ardent supporters of AI. Not just support. I definitely I appreciate the risks of AI, but I feel like everyone has such a just a dire view of it. And I can understand it to a big degree because of the corporations that back in the tech. But I'll be honest with you, AI has been a fundamental tool that astounds me every day how it just gets better and better, and it works in my profession, in loads of different professions, in videos and video editing. I'm messing around with things on Higgsfield with seed dance. I'm like, what the flip is this shit? Crazy times we're living in. But yeah,
I think it's definitely good for some professions, and I was messing around with some those Claude agents and stuff to try and pull pull my articles from Windows Central, because one thing that's really funny, I often forget what I've written, so it's kind of useful for some things. It's useful to just sort of collate information and automatically do stuff, but I can't use it for writing. It makes so many mistakes. I ask any sort of basic kind of question you ask it's just lies to you, and then you're like, hang on a sec, this is bullshit, and it's like, oh yeah, you're right, sorry, this was bullshit, you're right to call that out, by the way, can I give you a blowjob? It's so sick. It's so sick of GPT, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, I've got a friend who works in the NHS, and I was talking to him about it because they use Microsoft Copilot in the NHS. The government's got a contract.
Okay.
And he was saying it is really useful for summarizing long email chains between lots of different doctors about complicated cases, and it will summarize all that shit, and it when the data is right there in front of it, it can do pretty well, and accurately so too. But when it's pulling stuff from the internet, when it's full of spam and bullshit, that's when it starts to sort of suck. So it really depends on the quality of the data. So for me, as someone who used to love writing video game guides, but now I can't because there's no money in it. It's kind of because Google summary box specifically stops you making money on video game guides. It kind of in that universe, doesn't AI just gonna perpetually get dumber when there's no good information to pull from? But I think within corporations like yourself, which has they have bespoke data, which they can pull from, I think it is pretty it's transformative, But even Claude, I would use that on a daily. It's the way you use it. So my mate got it, and I got the max plan or whatever. It's just £100 a month, but I use it quite heavily, and I'm just look, you need to use it it's a person. You can't give it extra commands. That's where it flops. We have to talk to it like a person. Look, I'm dealing with this, what's going on, and if you get that conversational prose right with Claude, it becomes very effective. We had the two sets of we had the same matter, and testing it out, how he did the command and how I did the command, and transformative, completely different. His was basically wrong, mine was correct. It's just that kind of tech, and generally in gaming and stuff like that, I know AI is going to be very divisive, but I feel like people will change their minds when they see what's going to happen. Look, I don't like Nvidia as a company. I don't like that Jensen Huang, whatever his name is. A lot of people think that because I got 5090, I'm simping for Nvidia. I simp for tech. I really want. Look, I have a finite amount of years left on this planet. I've been gaming since I was a freaking embryo, and I had imaginations about where gaming is gonna go, end up. And part of the depression about the state of the industry and the collapse of AAA is that we've hit that ceiling, which is a big reason why I'm so excited about GTA 6, because that's going to represent the big step up that we'll see
for maybe a decade or so. So many developers that I interviewed at GDC were like, you hope. But even in other developers are like, yeah, they've all, from a development standpoint, really keen on seeing where the tech was going to go. And I know DLSS 5 was massively controversial, but for me, it wowed the shit out of me. It wowed the shit out of Digital Foundry until they found out, holy shit, other people don't like it, let's renege on it. And I thought that is...
I thought that was crazy that they were like, oh, this is awesome, and then everyone was mad about it, and then they changed their opinion.
That is the biggest weakness I've seen in Digital Foundry ever, because all they do is, okay, obviously beauty is subjective, and so when they comment on something like the beauty of something like DLSS 5 taking things up, okay, fine, they can offer their opinion, but them actually expressly saying, as Richard Ledbetter saying, but perhaps we should have waited to see the audience reaction before giving our opinion. I'm like, yeah, what? How could you say that? How could you say that?
That's not how it works.
Mate,
yeah, I don't know.
That was terrible. That was look, I'm not gonna go after. Everyone came after Digital Foundry because they were impressed with the tech, and then you had what's his name? I forgot, John Linneman, and he's always. I'd love to have John. You always love to cry about this shit. Oh, you love your Sega Mega Drive, and I get it, but at a certain point, you have. I think it's going to be transformative. I don't trust NVIDIA alone to be the harbingers of this tech and how utilizing it, but if their promises come true, and developers will hold them to their promise about enabling them to have granular control of a tech like this so that they don't compromise on the visions of the artists that have built these games, which I'm pretty sure that, you know, that's not going to happen, because game developers aren't going to go in there, work so hard tirelessly, build a game, and then when it enable DLSS 5 and it looks completely different, they're like, yeah, fuck it, we love it. There are risks. There may be risks where some developers might say, look, we'll do baseline, not that much stuff, and wait for DLSS 5 to upgrade it to make it look nice. I don't think that's an issue, because that means that you can now devote your attention in other areas that have been woefully stagnant in this gaming space, from AI, which is diminutive, backwards as fuck, all the AI shit that we talk about, everyone in chat, oh, we got large language models here and there. Go play any freaking single player game and tell me their AI is astounding. What? Crimson Desert, Ghost of Yote, go see their AI or AI routines. They're so backwards, they're like 3 gens old. I'm sorry, but how can you tell me that the game worlds are going to look so nice, but then your immersion gets completely shat on when you just observe basic AI routines that are so droll? So we're dumbed down to accept that the status quo of AI is okay. And I'm like, what? Who's pushing it? No one's pushing it. No one's pushing AI, reactive AI conversations to massive events in space, but massive events, and then forget AI, physics. We haven't got liquid physics sorted out yet. We haven't got physics on our clothes, on like holes being ripped in shirts, on even in beat 'em up games, like where there's not that many variables. I'm not seeing blood-soaked shirts in there, or someone claws up something, the shirt rips up. Even in GTA 6, I've been watching trailers so carefully of it, and I know the scope of that game is massive, despite how incredibly amazingly ambitious that game is compared to everything else, and the budget is like $2 billion. Like, what's happening? If you look at, I was watching carefully, I'm like, oh, the shorts aren't really moving, they're stuck, they're static, they're not like clothes, that's why it doesn't look as real as real life. Things like that. The physics hasn't changed, AI hasn't changed, and I'll be honest with you, Jez, the most ambitious game up until now, for me, that hasn't been challenged yet, is a game that's, what, 20, 30 years old? It's World of Warcraft.
World of Warcraft, yeah.
World of Warcraft. How is that the case? Oh, if you told a younger me who was running around the Barrens with a turban on with his undead warlock and just said, hey, by the way, just to let you know, in 20 years, this is still going to be the most ambitious game. Nothing's going to happen. I'll be so disappointed. And that's where I'm coming from with this stuff. So every time we balk at tech or advancements in tech, I'm like, you're from a Puritan stance, which I think so much of it is really just putting on a show for social media. It annoys the shit out of me. I'm like, okay, right. So I'm gonna sit here with my monocle on. Oh yes, join the Twitter fucking artist brigades who go learn to draw, and I say, go show me your fucking drawing. You love your drawing so much because you hand drew it. I'm like, that looks like ass. There's a reason why AI is a threat. sorry, I had a little rant there about DLSS 5, but I genuinely hate the angle of people in the tech. And there is definitely a middle ground that's sensible to discuss this tech, but it gets very difficult to discuss it when it's so polarized, when you've got just a bunch of people screaming AI slop, and no one wants to meet in the middle to have the conversation. And a Digital Foundry are getting death threats because they just they talked nicely about it. Well, there's no chance. There's no chance to talk about it. So then what do I do? I end up going fucking extreme myself and saying, fuck everyone else. AI is the best. Here's Jensen Hung with gold teeth. And you have to go extra just to balance the books. Because if I have a middle ground conversation, it just gets lost in the ether. No one will entertain it. And the pricks will come back doubly strong. If you're slightly a little bit muted in your response or in enthusing about DLSS 5 or tech, you embolden the contrarians. So this is why I get my dig out and I'm like, yeah, go, say what? You know for a fact you will play Starfield with this mode instead of the shitty NPCs. I know and it's true. You will never play that. Wait till the tech comes out. Wait till it becomes freaking mainstream and then watch all those streams. And you think this begins oh no, this is not nice. I'm going to turn DLSS off because it's taking away from the artist's vision. No chance. No chance. No chance. Sorry. Rant over. That was about DLSS 5. Wasn't planned.
You done?
I'm done. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I think my big issue with it is the economics don't work. Fundamentally, the economics do not work. Like, you talk about things like using AI tech to have holes in clothes and stuff like that, and it's just like, yeah, well, if neural AI NPCs have to be, rendered on a server, fundamentally, like, electricity stops becoming the problem. Then you start talking about, like, there's not enough silicon being produced to, facilitate the demand. Like, we've started seeing already Claude and OpenAI reduce the potency of their own models because they don't have physically enough raw materials to meet demand. So they're diluting the power of their models because of this. And the pipeline for AI, like, if you actually look at the business, the pipeline for server infrastructure and cloud inference, like, it's so fragile, man. It's so fragile because these, like, the frontier models, like the OpenAI's frontier models and shit like that, they burn through GPUs so quick. They burn through them, break them. They have to be replaced constantly. Yeah. And you get to a point where it's like, do we even have, the tech is real. The tech is absolutely real. The concept of, like, neural net, artificial intelligence, it's real. The problem is our entire society, purely from an industrial perspective, like, this is before you start getting into job losses and the economics therein, our manufacturing pipeline is not ready
for that kind of stuff.
The demand. It's just not. It's nowhere near ready. It's crazy.
Let them figure it out. Let them figure it out. But I agree with you. That's kind of tech. I think that's where the ceiling for the tech is, and that because you saw there was a point with AI, you saw massive, like, incremental not incremental upgrades. You saw, like, seismic changes between models, and you getting massive diminishing returns between model upgrades now. To the point where it's like, all right, like, what's the difference? And you're right about the environmental element of it and whether we have the capacity to facilitate this stuff. That is a challenge for the tech in itself. Whether or not we can resolve it, I don't know. But we need to have a better way of utilizing the energy, degenerating energy, sustaining that energy. And obviously the governments worldwide have shown massively that they're ill-equipped to even have that conversation as they resist the urge to press that massive red button and blow up each other. So there's absolutely, I will concede that in terms of the viability or the sustainability of that tech, underlying tech, to permit AI to carry on developing, it remains to be seen. But as it stands right now, and again, this is early stage tech with DLSS 5, you've had 25090s running this, but the intention is to have it on a single card. Early tech, that kind of stuff, even in its own right, when Digital Foundry saw it, we all saw it, it was the most substantial technical update I had seen in the gaming space or technological space in the games that in many, many years, to the point where it was so transformative. I was shocked by it. Obviously, digital fan.
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, the what they should have done, they should have kept it to reflections and water and stuff like that. Because when they put it on Grace's face, it looked weird and uncanny and glossy. And I think that's when people really sort of like
absolutely
started, like they were like, hang on a sec, this don't look quite right. Because human faces are like, there's like a almost subconscious way the brain interacts with the face. So if there's something looks off with it, it's really noticeable. You know, and I think that's where they made the mistake. If they kept it to like reflections and, you know, textures or whatever, mechanical stuff or abstract stuff, I don't think the backlash would have been anywhere near as strong as it was.
I said this the other week. If it wasn't for Grace's face, we'd been okay. It was Grace's face that set it off, because it reminded people of all the, you know, the grifters that cry about woke characters and stuff. Like, there's a genuine conversation to be had, but then you have your Ian Miles Chong and your, what's his name, that weird guy. I've muted all these guys, so I don't see them. Yeah, Grums, that twat. You know, you see that shit every time they put this AI filters on to make the chick look prettier. That's what it reminded people of the conversation, and it put a distaste in their mouth. But there was other bits of Grace where there's a close-up of Grace's face, and it was really on point. It looked way better. Starfield obviously looked way better. There were other characters that just looked really, really good. And top IGN's description is DLSS 5 is a slap in the face. I'm like, shut the fuck up. DLSS 5 is a slap in the face. Like this bit here, I've got on screen right now. This isn't so bad. You've got the original. The original looks like kind of basic. Like, where the hell are the textures going on? Why is it so shit? I haven't played Requiem yet, but no, why is it so bad? But then it switches over here, and this is way better. Way better. Doesn't change the vision at all. It looks good. You could see it's more immersive. You can see the light bouncing on her eyes, the way the lips are. It's just amazing. This is whole different. This is where it's egregious, because she looks like a model. And like I said the other week, the only time you'd dress up, her mum's died. She's going to a funeral, and you're not going to keep yourself up in makeup like you're Erica Kirk. This doesn't make sense. So that is weird. That is weird. So. Other than that, I agree with you. If they had relegated it to, if they relegated it to environments only, but even the face stuff was good though. Like this stuff with Leon, I thought was amazing. Like people even complain about this. I'm sorry, what's there to complain about with this one? Why are you mad? The way that light, look at that, it's just insane. I want this tech. I can't wait for this tech, and. There will be lazy developers who will take the piss with it. There'll be good developers who will maintain the integrity of their art and take this to the max. And if the NVIDIA or other people, AMD, Sony, whoever is starting to use this tech, can do this so that you, instead of, just brushing up the 2D plane and image at the end of it, can enable devs to actually mess around with the 3D model and produce stuff, it's going to be great. And I think the tech is going to be there. The utility of the tech is dead if it doesn't enable developers to have those kind of upgrades. So it is what it is. And I've said that so many times, but yeah, it is what it is. But I can't wait for it.
It is what it is the collective catchphrase of anyone who's ever been interested in covering the Xbox ecosystem.
It is what it is.
Me and Rand said so much.
Oh my god, yeah. That's well, I want to talk to you about that. This week I've actually, just before the show, actually was a bit more organized and had my list of topics. Before we go into the schleems, though, let me just
schleems.
Schleems just made a random word up. Actually, it's not a random word, it's from Rick and Morty, but Assassin's Creed Black Flag, the remake is supposed to be announced and planned for announcement next week. Are you a Creed fan?
I'm Assassin's Creed Black Flag fan.
Yeah.
But I haven't really been into Assassin's Creed since Black Flag, really, to be honest. It's just been like the games are all so samey, and I feel like every time I start playing one, I just think I've already played this. You know, I remember quite enjoying Origins when Origins came out because it was a little bit different. Like they went for the Witcher route and they made it a bit more RPG oriented. But then it was just like, and this is very much a me problem. I was just thinking, man, this is too big, and I ended up not finishing it because it was just so big and so vast. And I suppose like I was at a point in my life where it was just like, I want something that feels a little bit more focused, I guess. You know? And I say this as someone who's put hundreds of hours into World of Warcraft's latest expansion. But you know, World of Warcraft is like, you don't even have to think playing World of Warcraft. You know, I don't have to follow a story. I don't, you know, and I'm chatting to friends and stuff in the game. It's a little bit different than
it's like a social thing almost.
You know, yeah, it's a social thing almost. Yeah. It's a bit different to like what you get out of an Assassin's Creed potentially. And if I'm going to play one of those games, I kind of want a game where I'm already invested in the characters, and every Assassin's Creed's different. So like, obviously, I'm looking forward to next Cyberpunk and next Witcher, and those universes are just, I don't know, more interesting to me, I guess. But I still root for the game because, you know, I know it's got a lot of fans and a lot of my friends are really into it, and I want them to be happy. And it kind of sucks like seeing how Ubisoft sort of fell off really hard over the last few years, right? They've had a lot of problems at Ubisoft. So I'd be happy for them to have, happy for the devs to have a bit of like something positive to celebrate, I suppose.
Yeah, no, absolutely. The
I'll probably play
Black Flag. I'm not saying Black Flag 10 times font. Nice try. The Black Flag was the last Assassin's Creed game I played. I thought, oh, this is actually fun, and then I didn't carry on playing it. I actually thought that was a great game. And if you guys,
I loved it.
I'm not a fan of Assassin's Creed. I just think that they haven't, their formula's been they just rinse, repeat, just Ubisofted the shit out of it. And at the same time, I was like, oh, you're remaking it again? Like, great. Like, I have no respect for Ubisoft. I'm sorry. They do a couple of things right. They will go back to a game after releasing it and make massive changes to make it work as it should have done in the first place. Okay, that's great. I put respect to them. Hopefully, sometimes they'll learn to actually get the product right in the first place as opposed to doing it after the fact. In that sense, though, I will respect that they do genuinely care, that they go out of their way to fix shit. Fair enough. But they just shit it out. They just shit out the same stuff. Their roadmap, like Ubisoft's entire strategy as a company now, is to just rely on their big games. Their big Assassin's Creed, Far Cry. What happened to Splinter Cell? They don't even have any respect on that name. Put respect on it. The only one thing, there's a saving grace that I'm looking forward to, and Tom Henderson keeps telling me is being developed really well and is coming across well, and they haven't cancelled it, is Beyond Good and Evil 2. And I'm like, what? Why have they not cancelled that? And it's in the multiple millions, like eye-watering amount of budget for that game. And I'm like, Ubisoft hasn't cancelled it? Like, why have they not cancelled it? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, but it's Ubisoft. They're still committed to it. Fine. But let this game come out. I really am sick and tired. Must be amazing,
right?
Huh?
If they haven't cancelled it, it must be amazing.
Well, the thing is, Tom Henderson's seen it. Tom Henderson's like, why do you say my full name all the time? I was trolling him in San Fran, just random people. I'm like, hey, this lady in the lift. I'm like, that's Tom Henderson. She's like, oh. Americans are so nice. They were like, they just don't want to be rude to you. I'm like, yeah, that's Tom Henderson, to a random person. And she was like, oh. And Tom's like, shut the fuck up, what are you doing? And if it's someone in English person, go, that's Tom Henderson. Oh, fuck, why are you talking to me? Who are you? But yeah, that's Tom Henderson. But he's seen the game. He said it's actually very, very impressive. So let's wait and see whether Assassin's Creed Black Flag remake announcement does happen next week. I'm sick and tired of fucking remakes. Okay, the only remakes I'm excited about are old-ass games that could make a big difference in the way they're realized today. Like Ocarina of Time. That's supposed to have a remake. If that has a remake, holy shit, you don't understand that. And it's Nintendo. They surely can't just shit it out. Not HD, up-res, all the shit bollocks. No, I don't care. Remake that. Amazing. I would love a remake of that. Remake of games like Vagrant Story. People don't even know what that probably is because that's showing my age. But
oh, dude, I've been playing a game that kind of reminded me of Vagrant Story this week. Have you heard of Dread Delusion?
Dread Illusion.
Dread Delusion, it's called.
Dread
I posted
Delusion.
a video on my. Yeah, we had some footage of it on my show on Friday. It's like they intentionally like recreated the PlayStation 1 graphics pipeline for it.
Oh,
it's
really?
Like a retro kind of RPG.
Oh, I see it. Yeah, I'm putting it on stream right now.
Morrowindy kind of thing. It's but like as I was playing it, I was just sitting there thinking like, man, this really, really reminds me of Vagrant Story, like the vibe kind of thing.
Yeah.
There's definitely some inspiration there, but Vagrant Story is fantastic. Like I have no idea why that never got some kind of remake or remaster.
That
Like,
needs a remake.
Some of these old school games are just like there's such a blueprint for a great modern game in it.
Absolutely,
I mean,
there
it hasn't aged fantastically well, but like
absolutely
it could.
Absolutely could. Vagrant Story was incredible, and I never got to complete one of those. Where I'm like, please remake it because it was a special game. Technologically, on the PlayStation 1, it was struggling. There's just a lot of brown triangles, but you could tell this was a
lot of
special
very, very short draw distances.
Yeah,
A lot of fog and mist.
Fog and mist and black. Like, just, I
Like,
just remember. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. Siphon Filter, another game that could do really well. A lot of people have been begging for a Siphon Filter remake to come out.
Wasn't there a rumor that Sony rejected a pitch from Bend for Siphon Filter?
Yes, they did.
Yeah.
But that sucks. And they probably greenlit another nameless gas game, which is cancelled now, which is horrendous. But give me remakes like that, and I will say fine. Even the Halo, well, actually, next topic, Halo campaign Evolved, and I think it's a pointless remake. I don't know why this Halo campaign Evolved had a remake. Well, I say it's pointless. The real reason is this. They are capitalizing on the PlayStation crowd, because that's what they're patronizing for. Type in Halo campaign Evolved, 1 million views on the PlayStation channel. How disgraceful, man. Oh, the fucking... How can you do that? Asha, Sharma, I thought you heard us. Halo campaign Evolved is apparently it got a release date that's been leaked. Well, what is it, actually? I should actually find out.
July 28th.
Is it July 28th? Okay, this is why you have Jazz on. July 20th, I think it's a good time, because Xbox has a problem this year. A major problem. A good problem to have, but it's still a problem. And the problem is Xbox has way too many games coming out, and GTA squeezes the breathing space that these games have. So you've got next month Forza Horizon 6, which we'll talk about next. Forza Horizon 6 is a big title. It'll be a massive seller. It's not on PlayStation day one, so that kind of dampens the schleems a little bit in terms of its sales, but it's going to be a big game either way.
Schleems.
don't diss the schleems, man. Schleems the best. But you know, fair enough. But you've got Replace coming out in a couple of weeks. This is an indie title, fair enough. It doesn't need that much breathing space, but that, you know, you should still give it enough marketing push, and it speaks to the variety of Xbox. I'm looking forward to it a lot. So you've got Replace coming out, then you've got Forza Horizon coming out next month, then you've got this coming out in July. What do you say? Is it July what? July
28th.
July. Then you've got Fable coming out. So I'm confused, Jess. Can you explain to me, when are you expecting Fable and Gears of War to come out?
Man, I suppose, like, I just want to preface this, like, because some of my speculations from the show the other day have become headlines this week, which is annoying. But I suppose, like, this is just speculation. I don't know when those are coming out. I did corroborate the July launch window for Halo, though, so I do think that's true.
Okay.
But like with regards to Fable and Gears, I have no idea. But I suppose like you could slap Gears. Like, I mean, do we know Forza's launch date? That's why I like having Rand here, because he knows all the shit off the top of his head.
Rand, I know you are there somewhere. Tell us.
His internet's been fucked the last day or two.
He's been reading books and hasn't checked his internet.
Yeah, maybe. But when I don't know, man. I suppose like they've got like a window. They've got to be sort of like they've got to avoid GTA, right? I think.
Yeah.
I suppose for Microsoft, the big money sink I would imagine has been Fable. Like Fable's been one of their monstrously expensive games. It kind of needs to show up and do pretty well, I would imagine.
Chat saying May 19th.
You
John's in the chat says May 19th.
May 19th for Forza, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, what's the launch window for GTA again?
November.
So I suppose like maybe you could do August for Gears, because they've launched Gears in August before, I suppose.
I mean, you got Fable, which is a massive RPG, and you need to give that enough breathing space. When are you releasing that? I think your priority should be
September, I would imagine.
September. So August.
August for Gears, and then you get a month with Gears, and then you do your Game Pass churn, and then you do Fable the next month, and that's your Game Pass for that month, and then and then that's it, I suppose.
A month breathing space for Fable, and then go to Gears. Well, Gears for a month, and then Fable. It's a tough one, man. And then bear in mind,
I don't think you do it afterwards, because I think people are going to be on GTA like for quite a while. So I wouldn't do it afterwards if it was me. But at the end of the day, it's got to come out when it's ready. They can't like rush that shit, and they also can't they can't just delay it forever. Like sometimes, like you just have to. No, I'm talking about Fable. Like at some point, you just have to accept that it's got to come out now.
I think it's at that stage now.
So, yeah.
But remember, in September you got Wolverine coming out as well, so it's gonna be very tight, and that's just first party titles I'm talking about. So there's a lot. Xbox, I feel like one way or the other, Xbox by choosing to. I'm just surprised with the Gears
Wolverine's
thing.
not going to be on PC though, right?
What? Wolverine's not on PC.
Wolverine's not on PC. No, it's not on PC. So I don't think they're really that bothered about Wolverine like they would be about GTA. GTA is not on PC either, come to think of it. So I mean, considering that it's not on PC, I suppose that gives Fable. That actually gives Fable a lot of runway. Like it could be the the big PC RPG for people who aren't gonna go and buy a console for one game.
Like me.
Like me as well. Like and there obviously is all these rumors that Sony's quitting PC, but I really think again I just think that's silly, because I think most PC gamers aren't just going to run out and buy a PlayStation, which crazy expensive, just to play a few exclusives.
I did that.
I mean,
I just literally bought the Pro before the price hike.
But some of us aren't multimillionaires, bro.
I wish I was, but yeah. But I mean, PlayStation.
Mate, you would be if you weren't living in London, maybe.
That's true, bro. Fucking hell, man. Yeah. I think about the
move to
money.
the West Midlands, you'll live like a king.
If we moved to somewhere like freaking Thailand or somewhere, bro, well, the money would go so far.
Bro, when I was in Taiwan airport, and I was like stunned, because I went to a vending machine, and like a bottle of cola was like 50 cents, euros, like 50p, or less than that. It was like 50 cents euros, so like what, 45p for a bottle of cola. I was like, I haven't seen these prices. I don't think I even saw those prices in the 90s, man, for a bottle of cola.
Yeah. 50p for a can of Coke. It's hard to imagine. That is the old days. 50p. I remember 50p for a can. Now that's what I'm saying. They're like, it doesn't make sense. Inflation is so disgusting right now. And yeah, the money I'm paying just for my mortgage, you know what I could get for... if the world goes to shit, by the way, where would you go? I have to ask, I'm going to start asking this question to every guest so I can understand where the best place to escape is. Where would you go? Chat, if we're about to enter into World War III, what's the best country to move to or place to move to? Where would you move?
I wouldn't move, man. I just
in the...
yeah, I'd just be like, yeah, whatever.
No, but...
I had a good innings. I'm fine.
He's not even going to try.
I'm not even going to try, no.
I would move to like, I don't know, man.
Give me a cup of tea and a deck chair, and then I'll sit out in front of it.
New Zealand's a good shout, you know. New Zealand is a beautiful place. It's just a stunning place. Nice bit of nature, a lot of greenery. It's just nice.
A lot of sheep.
That's Wales. Why is everyone in chat typing in Chinese and then saying something else? Is that just me, my PC? I was doing it on my phone and I'm seeing it now. Something Chinese Tau Ceti. Tau Ceti, by the way, is in Marathon. It's one of the... That's where the planets are where you move. It's also the planet or the star system, I should say, in Project Hail Mary, where they go... Really good movie, by the way.
I haven't seen that yet.
Slight tangent.
Rand used to always recommend the book.
Bro, he recommended to me last year. He goes, Gaz, Project Hail Mary is what he read like 178 books last year. Yeah? So this guy reads like he knows his shit. Every sci-fi book, because I've read it already. He said Project Hail Mary is incredible, and I watched it, and I liked it a lot. It's a really good movie, and what's his name? The main actor. I always forget his name. Ryan Gosling. Yeah, he was really good in it.
Ryan Gosling's fantastic. I love the guy.
Yeah, really good. I think he's underrated as well. I think a lot of people like to hate on him, saying he's really wooden and stuff like that. He's not like Keanu Reeves. He's a good actor. He's been in some of my top movies of all time. The main one being freaking Blade Runner 2049. I thought he did amazing job.
I love that Blade Runner movie. Blade Runner 2049, right?
Yeah.
I get the numbers mixed up. I love that movie so much. I thought it was perfect. Perfect. And then
failed at box office.
Comes out that it's a flop.
It was a box office flop. It is my number one movie of all time. Insane. And it flopped. And it is such an indictment on the tastes of humanity that movie flopped. Yeah. It's so
I hate it because the director blamed himself, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I should never have tried."
Villeneuve said that. Yeah, I'm like, bro, what the fuck are you talking about?
I felt so bad for him. I was like, bro, you fucking nailed it. I love the original. You know,
I love the original as well, but this is just for me. It was better. It was way better. Barbie completely smashed it out of the park. Bacon. So it's like safe. LG was a flop too as well, Nate Dogg says. Then that goes to show that crazy. That's just mental that's the case. And it's such a underappreciated in my opinion. Huh?
What did you say was a flop?
The original was a flop as well. The original Blade Runner was a flop as well. Commercial failure.
Oh yeah, it was. Yeah. I don't get that. I don't fucking get it.
I don't get it either, man. Everyone knows they like Cyberpunk, like post-apocalyptic, love the vibe. But it's just, I don't know. People would rather watch Barbie or whatever the fuck. It's just ridiculous.
I didn't know the original was a flop.
Yeah, original was a flop. It's a cult classic.
That's insane to me.
And you know what? I will say this. It's
one of the best movies ever made.
I know. Bro, for me, Blade Runner 2049 is the best movie. I could, even down to the font they used at the start of the movie to set up, the mini story. I'm like, the music, the way it comes in, the cinematography is used so much. Anytime I watch any YouTube tutorials on cinematography, it's just Blade Runner 2049. Always, whoever has the cinematography did for that, incredible. But that's the way the cookie crumbles. Like, real art is never really appreciated. And in a way, I will say this though. Look, at the end of the day, it came out, and we can cry about it not being a success, but there doesn't need to be a Blade Runner 2079. We got it. We can complain about it. Other people didn't appreciate it, but in a way, isn't that kind of cool that a smaller group of people who, in my opinion, it's not elitism, it's just like, but in a way it is. It's like, oh, you filthy casual fucks don't even understand art. When I meet someone who goes, I love Blade Runner 2049, it was a work of art, I know I have something in common with that man, because I know that man has at least some appreciable baseline creativity or appreciation for creative talent. So I don't know how we got to that. We were talking about, what the fuck are we talking about? I have no idea. This timestamp is going to be a nightmare. But it's true. Jared Leto.
That's what happens when you podcast with me.
Yeah, exactly.
There is no consistency or structure.
You know, that's the best kind of chat. Like when you do these game chats, look, you have to title it a certain way so people like you want to go ahead and talk about, you know, games or the performance and stuff like that. But the whole point about these chat shows, and I know people want the same audience, want the same kind of conversations, but I want to have a fluid conversation about random things, and I want to I'm so grateful. And shout out to 122 people in the chat. Smash the like button, man. That's insane. If you think about a room, you don't do big numbers, so you're used to it. But think about, in my head, even if I have more than 50 people, it's insane. Or even less, say more than 20 people is insane. But 122 people watching in a hall is fucking crazy. So for me to talk about random shit is even more mad. And for me to talk about shit naturally, about things that I care about and other people actually have a kind of vibe with, that's the whole point of doing the podcast. That's what you want. Some people will have a career out of it. They rely on the money for it or whatever, or they're just grifting for the sake of it. The numbers are driven by the rat race or whatever. That's your prerogative. That's fine. For me, I'm in a fortunate position where I just want to do this as creatively. It's really nice to be able to do that. So kind of filtration. I never like, one thing I'm really desperate to hold on to is just the knowledge that, you know, I think a lot of creators, when they get to a certain size, they just start, they forget that kind of where they came from, you know? Yes.
And like me and Rand have been doing this for a long time now, like 8 years, grinding the vast majority of Fridays for 8 years.
That's mad.
And you know, we've
think about that, 8 years.
We rode the pandemic wave so hard. We rode that wave. The pandemic was everyone was stuck online. So we were really lucky that our podcast was growing during the pandemic.
Yeah.
But you know, I never want to be. I always want to sort of remember where I came from and pay it forward as well. You know,
absolutely. Pay it forward, but yeah, to the right people, to the audience, and some. You learn lessons about people as well. But that was Project Hail Mary, and it was a nice little life lesson. He's like, what the fuck are these guys talking about? We talked about Halo Campaign Evolved. Oh, okay, talk about this. This week, or a couple of days ago, we had a lot of fiery conversations about Cyberpunk got a PSSR or PlayStation 5 update. And it did a good job. It brought in ray tracing in its pro mode or something like that. And a lot of people comparing it with PC, and it did really well. It was very favorable in terms of PC. Incidentally, a lot of people were so salty. Oh, Gaz, you're talking about so why are you bringing up a PC Cyberpunk just when you're so salty? Ironically, literally a day before Digital Foundry's coverage of Cyberpunk and that stuff, or with the release of this update for Cyberpunk, Gene Park had tweeted out, oh my god, path tracing and PC gaming is the one. Like, for Gene Park to say that, that's a bit weird. Like, Gene Park is appreciating PC gaming and path tracing on visuals, and the day before that I'm like, I need to reinstall this game because this is a game that looks insane. Now the PS5 Pro has a very good looking version, because ray tracing, a lot of people say, is a gimmick, it's bullshit, blah blah blah. It is not. I had a 2070 and I had Cyberpunk running, and I had it on ray tracing mode, and it was struggling at 30-40 frames. But every time I turned it off, I was like, oh, it's without ray tracing, it looks like shit. Ray trace shadows, no, it's not just shiny reflections. So kudos to the PS5 Pro, which I still haven't taken out of the box because I'm waiting for Soros, but it's doing a good job of upgrading. Mark Cerny has done a great job of updating this thing after a year after he's met this promise. And there's a seismic change between the way the Cyberpunk was running before and now. So you got to give your flowers to PlayStation for how it's running the Cyberpunk. But Don't you motherfuckers ever make the mistake of comparing it to PC when it comes to path tracing. I saw so many of you little bitches cry about, oh, we got parity, you're wasting money. You are last gen. You are not even in the conversation until your console can play this game with path tracing on, because this is my gameplay that I recorded, and it's fucking crazy. Look at the gameplay on it right now. I don't even optimize or anything. Is this running on a 5090? Look at this path trace. It looks beautiful. You wish your game on your console ran it like this. It's beautiful. Absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning. It's just so nice to run this with path tracing on, and it's just a whole different. The amount of details you see on this shit is fucking crazy. It is mental. I love this shit. Look at it. You can just stare at it all the time. And I've been a big proponent of UE5. A lot of people don't understand that I would much rather prefer proprietary engines being out there, but the reality, how you have to concede, is that not making bespoke engines like Red Engine, it's not feasible. That's why freaking CD Projekt Red have moved away from it. But look at it. It looks freaking insane. This looks next gen. You wish, console peasants, you peasants wish you had this. Wait till next gen and then you'll get it. But this is beautiful. This is running on the Dreampunk mod as well. It is so nice. So nice. The game is just beautiful. Beautiful on PC. There's no comparison. There was a clip going around where someone had shared a clip and a lot of people like wrongly said, no, that's the PC version. I'm like, okay, that's egg on your face there, but the reality is y'all ain't even on the same freaking universe when it comes to a real rig. I see a lot of the PC guys say, oh no, the value point. Oh, Alex will say, though, in terms of pound for money value, I don't do that argument. I'm not sitting here trying to pretend like, yeah, sure, a grand for a PlayStation 5 Pro is a lot compared to what we used to pay for consoles, but PC gaming prices are not exactly very cheap, and it's expensive to get all the balls to the wall stuff running. But when you do get it running and it looks like fucking this, that don't say shit. Like, bro, you're not running it like this. It costs money. I'm not arguing about the value for money shit. Like, listen, but I'm running it like this. Look at the freaking detail. It's beautiful. But I just wanted to say, it's just stunning.
Gas. I called you Ran then.
Yeah.
What if you have to wear these? If you have to wear these, it doesn't matter what a game looks like because you can't fucking see anyway.
If you're blind, I can't help you. I'm sorry. That is an issue.
So I'm rocking, my Xbox Series X, and I play my games in blurry 40p sometimes, and I'm fine. I'm rocking with it because I can't bloody see it anyway.
Bro, obviously, if you can't see the graphics, I can't help you. But this isn't one of those like, you strain your eyes, is different. No, it is fun. Path tracing is a game changer. A lot of people complained about, because consoles couldn't really do ray tracing well, so they're just, ray tracing is a scam, ray tracing is a gimmick, and all of a sudden that did a quick U-turn as ray tracing became more and more prevalent in games that became more viable, especially on the Pro. So now there's done a U-turn. And now you're like, okay, you understand it. Okay, now do you understand path tracing? People are even downplaying that. If you're downplaying path tracing, you're a fucking idiot. That means you just your eyesight doesn't work. So, and next gen, when path tracing does come to consoles, which it will for the PS6 and the Project Helix or whatever the next Xbox is called, you'll see the same narrative shift again. But path tracing is not a gimmick. It is amazing. And if you like dank schleems, hit the like button. Yeah, but you have to give respect to the PlayStation 5 Pro. I will respect the PlayStation 5 Pro for doing better stuff, but getting support. But don't bring it in the same conversation as PC guy. PlayStation guys are like, oh yeah, it goes toe-to-toe with PC. But then when you bring up path tracing, oh yeah, how much did it cost? I'm like, hold on a minute. You can't have your cake and eat it. If you're gonna get involved in the PC argument, don't fucking cry about the price of my components. This is PC. This is premium PC gaming. You're not in the conversation yet. So suck my yeah. So that was Cyberpunk. I don't know if you want anything to add to that.
Cyberpunk good.
Cyberpunk is great.
Where the hell's this rumored Witcher 3 DLC though? I want to see. Apparently there's
Is there? I think I heard Tom talked about it. Yeah.
We're supposed to be getting that.
I think we're talking about Witcher as well. I really do want to go to see the team. I got invited to see one of the Valor Mortis guys' teams in Poland. I think they've got a team. CD Projekt Red got a team in Poland as well. Part of Insider Gaming.
CD Projekt Red is based in Poland.
That's what I mean. Yeah. So if I can double whammy it, go see the Valor Mortis guys as well. Level Up Games and also see them. That would be amazing. Because
I went to CD Projekt Red. I went there. Yeah.
You did
for Cyberpunk's DLC. I think I went there. The expansion. Man, it's so damn cool out there. I really like Poland actually.
I heard great things about Poland actually. Really nice to actually visit for holiday.
Yeah,
which I might do. I need to do it. I do want to do it. I do definitely want to check out Krakow as well. So it'll be lit. Someone in the chat goes, oh shit, I got a thingy chat as well. Sorry, Shabs. I've been meaning to read it. Shabs, because Jez, Viking in the making. Hi all, happy birthday, guys. I'm not bringing that again. You fuck you. But thank you, Shabs. Yeah, you have Viking beard. And looks good. Don't ever shave it because that would look fucking weird.
I did. The last time I fully shaved my beard was probably about 15 years ago. And I was like, this can't happen ever again.
I can't do it again as well. I've gained weight as well, and I have 2 months to lose it for my ceremony.
Oh ridiculous. Yeah, you would.
Yeah, literally on the day of Xbox's fucking showcase thing. It was amazing. Yeah. Someone in the chat goes, I love that Gaz speaks for 0.019% of PC gamers. It's like, that's not true. That's not true. Chat's hilarious. Crimson Desert really does have the wow factor when it comes to graphic. It doesn't? It does have, yeah, it does. It looks really good. And Fonz in the chat loves Crimson Desert, and the game does look amazing. And he's got a 4090 as well, so he's enjoying that with maximum schleams. So yeah. This came from you, this bit of news, apparently. And this would be a seismic bit of a big dent in the Xbox Game Pass sustainability argument. You're saying that Xbox are considering ending day one. It wouldn't surprise me. Call of Duty on Game Pass. Jez Corden.
Yep.
Oh,
I did say that. I've heard it's something on the cards. I don't know if they'll actually do it or not, but I think they've, identified the obvious, which is the price is too high. And I think now, like, we're a few months out from the initial announcement, people's subscriptions are lapsing now. And also, another thing that happened recently, which might also be a factor, Microsoft kind of deactivated, like, there's a lot of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate cards out there that still have the original price on. So, like, if a retailer's got those original $20 cards, like $20 a month or whatever, apparently they've started remotely deactivating those now.
Well, so someone buys those cards, they could get screwed and they wouldn't be able to redeem them.
Yeah, I think so. So Amazon for a long time was offering Game Pass Ultimate at, well, retailers have been advised to stop selling them for one thing, but Amazon, for example, was still selling at the old rate, because I presume they had a huge stock of original cards or whatever. And now they've run out and it's gone to the $30. And I think, like, at this point where people actually have no choice to pay $30, people are just like, nah, you know what, I'm out.
Yeah.
So I think Microsoft have to really look at, like, is this viable now? Because a lot of people, like, don't even play Call of Duty when it's in the service, I suppose. Or, like, they do, but they wouldn't have played it otherwise. And even if they do play it, they're not necessarily going to be, like, converting to buying microtransactions or stuff. So to speculate, I think it harms the Game Pass business model, and it probably harms the Call of Duty business model.
You're saying Game Pass is harming Call of Duty?
Yeah, because I would say like because Call of Duty is, I mean, Kotick talked about this. Like Call of Duty was built up and around the idea of every year you pay for a full new retail game, and that's not just that's retail visibility in shops and and all the rest of it. And the whole business model revolved around that for like a million years, and Game Pass has disrupted that. And,
I don't think it's even led to massive increase. Well, I don't know if it has a massive increase of that combined with the massive price hike and negative PR. Man, they didn't get that massive price hike.
I think for me, I would imagine, and this again is speculation. For me, it's like I'd imagine the Game Pass. Imagine Call of Duty being in PC Game Pass did help PC Game Pass adoption, but I imagine it probably didn't do a fat lot for console, because I would imagine console is pretty much maxed out now. So in that universe where it's like you have to kind of decide or choose between like, do I want to have a really strong Call of Duty or a strong Game Pass or whatever? I think you can't really do both. I think that it has to be either separated out, or there has to be like a super premium tier which not only gives you Call of Duty but also gives you like a bunch of other shit, like maybe World of Warcraft subscription and whatever else, and then actually like the rest of the day one catalog has to be on the $20 tier, because I don't know, I just think they've probably looked at all the data and just been like, this ain't working, it's just not going to work. But again, I might be wrong, so I didn't report it on Windows Central. I just reported it, in the podcast as a sort of rumor that I've been working with. I've heard it now from like 3 or 4 people, and it increasingly looks like, there's no smoke without fire kind of thing. But we'll see what happens.
I'm hearing murmurs of massive changes happening to Game Pass. Something about the day one stuff. Call of Duty wouldn't surprise me. I'm looking at your quote that we've had on our website at Insider Gaming. It's nice they cross-pollinate between publications, isn't it? But here we have you saying Call of Duty is going to vacuum up a lot of that revenue, which kind of eats into how much money you get month over month to actually get new content. And you need new content to prevent churn. Even in an off year, Call of Duty is so big that it sort of harms Game Pass. But at the same time, the idea that you don't have to buy Call of Duty and get it cheaper kind of also hurts Call of Duty in reverse. So what you're basically suggesting there is a Game Pass, which as a service, and the manner in which you get it for cheaper actually damages the value proposition of full price titles, and that is. I
mean, again, it's speculation. I don't have the balance sheet, so I don't know for sure.
No, but even if you're using about the speculation, the point remains that you do perceive how Xbox Game Pass is damaging to a value proposition of a big AAA title.
Yeah, well, one of the things, like, I mean, you've seen Fortnite have massive layoffs recently, right?
Yes.
One of the things like free-to-play games free-to-play games in general as a segment are finding, and this is something I've talked to with some high-up gaming execs. Something I'm researching currently is that people's user behavior has changed around free-to-play games. Like, as people as they've sort of price gouge skins and stuff like that and put the prices up, they've gotten to a point where it's like they've priced themselves out of the market. People feel squeezed right now, and a lot of these free to play games are just sort of getting to a point where it's like people just play them for free, which is a problem, because it's free to play, but it can't be free to play because its servers cost money, right? So the abundance of people who just now don't spend any money on microtransactions and are just content to just play and never touch any of that shit has become a problem, which is why, like, I keep hearing that Fortnite's gonna have like ads in the loading screen stuff eventually.
Again, wouldn't surprise me.
And other games, and other free-to-play games as well, like looking at this concept of like ads in the lobby, ads in the loading screen, and this is what happens in an industry where there's no new growth, all the little kids want to play Roblox, and there's all the people left on console and variety and core gaming. They're all aging out or dying.
Aging out or dying. That's so grim.
Yeah. So yeah. So it's kind of like you have to look to what the next bit of growth is, or at least in the short term. How can you stay ahead of inflation? And putting ads in the loading screen is probably one thing, but and it kind of like comes back to what we're talking about with Call of Duty and Game Pass. Like when Call of Duty is in Game Pass, you can kind of think of it as functionarily a free-to-play game, right?
Yeah.
If those people who otherwise would never have played Call of Duty don't actually buy a skin or anything like that, then what does Call of Duty gain in that scenario? Like someone engages with the game, but they don't spend any money on the game. So then you have to charge to make it worthwhile. You have to charge back Game Pass for the weighted engagement figure or whatever formula they use. I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head.
Okay.
But they use some formula when like there's games in Game Pass like Avowed or whatever else, and there's certain amounts of engagement. They use some kind of formula to get the Game Pass subscriber base fund.
Okay.
For that engagement. They charge back, right?
Yeah.
And if you've got a game like, Call of Duty, which is going to be very popular in Game Pass, and nobody's actually spending any money, you kind of like the only way it makes sense for that studio is to take the money out of the Game Pass fund. And if you're taking money out of the Game Pass fund, then you've got less money to offset the churn month over month. So it just sort of breaks the business model, I think. But the problem is it's kind of like what Microsoft used as an argument to push through the original deal for Activision, right? They were like, we're going to make Call of Duty available to more people, and it's going to be in Game Pass, it's going to be cheaper, and they made these arguments to regulators, kind of. I mean, I don't think it was necessarily in the agreements they signed with regulators that it would be in Game Pass, but, they did make some of these arguments. So I don't know. It was an experiment. It didn't work. It seemed like it might work because everything's a subscription now, but it just hasn't led to the growth they wanted it to achieve. And I would imagine that, the amount of good, decent sources I've had on saying that they're thinking about getting rid of it, I kind of believe it right now. But we'll see what happens.
I don't reckon
I
they
don't
will.
know for certain, which is why it's not in a report.
I don't see Game
It's
Pass
just
even in the
podcast discussions.
Yeah, I get where you're coming from, but there are murmurs I'm hearing from all over the place. And the Game Pass barely features really in conversations when it comes to statements coming out from the execs. Although they did, the last partner showcase did show an appetite to support it by third parties strongly as well with really good games. So Game Pass is still pretty decent. The talks about a Game Pass tier that only has first party titles in it is something I would be very interested in.
Yeah. So that's like the code name Red PHX Datamind. He's a xCloud. He makes an xCloud app.
Okay.
To do that, he reverse engineers the xCloud interface and API in order to do that. And as a result, he ends up data mining a lot of the stuff. So it's kind of like he's like a really good source for this. He was the first person who discovered the original changes from these data mining activities. So I would, this Triton thing is probably a definitive. I would say it's a certainty, But
I think it's a good shout.
I suppose it's.
I think that would be good.
I think it's It helps them in a few ways. Like, it's something that they could bundle and package for PlayStation potentially, and bundle and package for iOS and Android, and get around some of those platform rules where they don't want a company to offer third party storefronts or whatever. But like if it's their first party content and they want to offer it, it's a different argument, right? So. I think I think that's probably a cert. The question for me is, where does it show up? Does it show up on Nintendo Switch? Does it show up on PlayStation? Like, I'm intrigued. Like,
they'll want that to appear on PlayStation and Nintendo. And I mean,
I would say at the very least, it's going to be like Apple TV, maybe Netflix. Netflix Cloud is doing pretty well at the moment. Like, in comparative terms, the app, the Netflix cloud gaming app. was the #1 downloaded app on iOS for a little while.
Wow.
Red Dead Redemption's in there now and some other stuff. Yeah, so it's what it is. It's like it turns your phone into a controller, which is if you're a casual gamer and you don't have a controller and you don't want to bother messing around pairing up your phone with Bluetooth, it's like a direct-to-cloud controller.
Playing Red Dead on that would be ass.
Yeah, but like you play it on your TV, your phone's the controller.
I know, but as a controller, the phone controller for Red Dead Redemption, can you imagine playing that? It's awful.
Oh yeah, I suppose. But I mean, there will be games where it doesn't feel so bad, I suppose. But it was the #1 downloaded app in any case, and I have no idea why Microsoft didn't think, oh shit, why didn't we think of that? That's a no-brainer, really. Turn your phone into a controller, and for games like Vampire Survivors or whatever, a direct-to-cloud as well, because it uses the Wi-Fi instead of your TV's Bluetooth, so it's like less latency, right?
Oh yeah.
But anyways, it was and Microsoft could do a deal with Netflix where it's like, subscribe to Netflix, you get this, you get these Xbox first-party games, because Microsoft has been pretty aggressive putting their games on NVIDIA GeForce Now and some of the other cloud platforms, like I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. There's some of the like smaller gaming cloud platforms where Microsoft games exist. So, yeah, I don't know. I think it's the thing that'll probably happen.
Yeah, you're
I
gonna
just
get some
suppose
changes.
like what's the fate of Call of Duty on Game Pass in that universe? I suppose.
I guess they'll
because
I can see them
I don't
taking
care if Call of Duty's in Game Pass. I mean, I put a poll up on Twitter to the effect earlier, and I was like, would you prefer like a cheaper Game Pass, or would you want Call of Duty in there? And most people are voting I would prefer a cheaper Game Pass,
Yeah, absolutely I would.
So
I would definitely.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah. If Call of Duty's in Game Pass, then I'll play it. But if it's not, then I'd rather have the cheaper price point.
Yeah.
I'd rather have $20 Game Pass than Call of Duty in there, personally.
Absolutely, same here. I think most people would. In fact, let me do a poll right now. Would you take out COD from a Game Pass if it became cheaper? Why am I doing it all capitalized? Terrible poll.
You're yelling.
I'm not yelling. I just capitalized some random words there. Don't ask me why. The start of the words. And we will see how many people actually like it. But I think the vast majority will probably say yes, definitely would, because the Call of Duty has also fallen by the wayside. Yeah, I know they'll have to go back and fix it. It's too blah blah blah, the usual COD cycle. But that, and it's the sales would have hurt. The shareholders will be making decisions, quite snap decisions anyway. And I don't think maybe Game Pass is... I don't know, actually. At one point, I would like... How many people actually came in and subscribed to Game Pass because of Call of Duty? If there's a lot of people there, then fair enough. But if it does leave Game Pass, that doesn't surprise me either, because the negative feedback, I really reckon that with Game Pass's price hike, it hurt the overall perception of the service so badly. Remember, it crashed. The pages of cancelling subscriptions crashed even. So I don't know what's happening with Game Pass, and at the moment it's just like it's a weird. Changes are definitely afoot. I also don't understand how Xbox is going to approach the whole hybrid console model and keep pay-to-play online thing going. I feel like they'll have to roll that up and reconcile that somehow with Game Pass.
I've heard that at least at some point, the plan was to get rid of the paywall for multiplayer on Helix, specifically Helix.
Wow.
Because how can you do that? If it's a PC, how can you have it? But I don't know if that'll end up being the case or not. I mean, it's something we've talked about for years, and I think Phil has even been on the record in interviews saying it, to the effect of it feels anachronistic to have to pay to access multiplayer services. But it's also people do it, and it's a lot of money. So how do you reconcile that on the balance sheet? Whoever the CFO of Xbox is these days, I can't, because it's not Tim Stewart anymore. He's now running Bethesda, I think, or something like that. I don't know. It's weird times.
Okay. Dr. Scott is I don't know, he's been crying in the chat this whole day, but he was saying, so where would it go? Just the chat scroll down. I would take out Call of Duty, but that's not what made Game Pass more expensive. A little embarrassing, the simplicity of thinking here. I think we're trying to espouse if taking Call of Duty.
It is what made Game Pass more expensive. I know it is. You know. So.
Oh, it did?
Yeah, it is what. I mean, Game Pass would have gone up all the time, but it is specific. Like, price hikes happen, but like 50% price hike, you can bet your ass it was Call of Duty.
Okay.
You know.
Fonz makes a good point. If they take out Call of Duty and don't put the price down, that'd look awful. I think so.
There's no universe they'll do that. Unless they're just, I mean, maybe I jinxed it by saying that, but like that would be so dumb if they did that. I mean, if they took Call of Duty out there and didn't lower the price, you can just kill the whole thing. Like, what's even the point now?
I don't know. I mean, yeah. I don't give a shit that much now.
The price has to come down. If you remove Call of Duty, the price has to come down.
Okay.
It's too expensive, in my view.
75% of people on the poll have said that they would take out Call of Duty from Game Pass if it became cheaper, which doesn't surprise me. I think that makes sense. 50% was a ridiculous amount, a piss take. And I think
we're the hardcore as well, and like 75% are saying that. Like, imagine what like casual people who only really play, you know, a few games think about that.
Exactly.
You know, they would definitely take it out. I would think.
I mean, the casual gamers don't probably even still know what Game Pass is about because the marketing has been so atrocious. So it is what it is. Again, another it is what it is. I want to talk about a good friend, Asha Sharma, Parasocial. Asha Sharma has been doing, actually, she's on a net positive at the moment. Asha Sharma comes in, AI bod, lots of controversy coming in. She comes onto social media, starts interacting with fans. They're like, oh, here we go. You're doing the same thing though. She's picking up where Phil Spencer left off a couple of years ago. She's now communicating with fans, blah, blah, blah. Parasocial thing is working massively. You've got people with Asha Sharma with the crown head avatar there. This is going crazy. Today, or was it today or yesterday? I don't know, whatever. The Xbox sent across a welcome pack or just, I don't know what it is. Project Helix box with a t-shirt, card signed by Asha. I don't know if it was her actually signing. I don't know. She said Paris Lily got one.
Yours? Did you get one?
You must be on crack if they think they'd send me one. Destin Laguerre got one. And it was quite funny because it's like, all right, here we go. We're doing this thing again. But Asha Sharma might be, look, I was saying this to Paris, speaking to Paris today about this shit. I was like, she's doing quite well so far. I know very early, but one of the first things she does, she completely kills that this is an Xbox ad campaign, which I was rinsing to death.
You were.
And that was the first thing she did, because clearly it was felt that this is an ineffective ad campaign and it was actually doing damage to the brand, which anyone could see, in my opinion. What the fuck? But anyway, it is what it is. I keep saying it is what it is. We should have a fucking jar now for it is what it is. Then she, in a statement, also says all the right things about making sure that the Xbox consoles first and foremost. That means she understands that she wants to bring the renegade spirit back within Xbox, which I want to touch on in a sec about what that actually entails. She brings back Xbox Fan Fest, and then not only she just bring it back, makes it a more international affair. So now it's like screaming confidence in Xbox, bringing it back. Like, hold on, what's going on? And as a result of that, there's now positive murmurs about, oh shit, she's going to bring back exclusives, because no matter what anyone wants to say, how many people have coped and, tried to retrofit their arguments or come to the point where exclusivity is terrible, blah, 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 blah. The reality is most people really want it back. I'm sorry, but that is the one big thing. That is the sticking point behind Xbox. They want Xbox fans, whether they like to admit it or not, they really do want exclusivity or console exclusivity back. Not maybe PC. That ship has sailed, and that's fine, because even if it's a hybrid console.
Also Windows.
And also, yes, Windows and the new console is basically a hybrid, so which is fine. I don't think that's an issue at all. But they do want to have that back. Now, when it comes to the Renegade Spirit thing, she was appointed by good old Satya Nadella, who I have zero faith in any way. He's got his fingers too in deep with the Xbox division in terms of the decision making, and he's put in Asha there. If the fact that Asha talked about, I think is the biggest mistake Asha Sharma has made, which either will manifest itself as a mistake or it might come out true, but I'm erring on the side of the former, is that she's made these statements thinking that she won't be held to task very closely to the statements she has made. The Renegade Spirit thing, she's going to be remembered that. We hear you with exclusivity when she replied like that. That's being held. That's now gospel now. From the new head of Xbox, that is gospel. But there's so much rumblings about, and positive rumblings, and I'm not just saying from the Parasocial crew, I'm talking about rumblings generally, that, they are actually a lot of, the Xbox first party developers and studios, they have a massive degree of mistrust with Xbox because of the fact that Xbox got completely distracted by AI. They pulled the rug from Xbox developers and first party studios in their support of them, like we saw with ZeniMax Online, like we saw the cancellation of so many games. They've sowed massive distrust with developers in their first party. Today, I saw an interview with Pete Hines. Was it Pete Hines? Shitting on Xbox and how he hated them, the mistake, and maybe suggest that the whole buyout was the reason why he left. He never really liked Xbox, it seems. And there is that air of mistrust with Xbox. So like, oh, you come back now because the AI thing didn't work out, and now you think you want us to believe that, oh, you're actually all in on gaming again? Like, what's going on? So I don't blame that mistrust. But at the same time, I feel like Xbox, Asha Sharma is going to take a lot of the credit for a lot of the groundwork that were done by our predecessors. Like this year we got Fable coming out, and if Fable smash, amazing. Asha's gonna get credit, even though Phil Spencer been there for God knows how many decades or whatever, a decade, and he'd seen that through. But fair enough. Forza Horizon, if that does well and it looks really good, we'll talk about that in one moment. Previews have come out that if that does well, she's gonna get a little bit of credit. Gears of War comes out, she's gonna get credit. The freaking Xbox showcase event comes out and it shows really well and we have surprises, she's gonna get credit. So Asha Sharma comes in out of nowhere with no gaming experience and decades of planning on Phil Spencer working his ass off with getting the studios, dealing with the failures. We all shit on him for his just 4 games, and he's aged visibly, fighting ABK, blah blah blah. Here comes Asha Sharma, la. Couple of statements here. Fable does well. Forza does well. Halo might do shit, to be honest with you. But whatever. Gears does well, and then she comes in. The next gen consoles revealed, and it's met really well. And the signal that would send is like the tides are changing for Xbox. But in reality, Xbox is finally settling in. I'm not saying that her role is redundant, but it may look like the impact of Asha Sharma doing well. Xbox doing well under Asha Sharma's reign, should we say, could be substantial. It could be pretty big. And it's just the layup was there for her.
Some people have criticized me because I wrote an article where it was like, why is this happening now? Kind of skeptical and being a bit negative and cynical about it. Mm-hmm. After covering Microsoft for 13 years now, it's kind of like, I feel like I've been here before where it's like things seem better and it's like, oh, they're listening again, and then it's like a rug pull, at some point. So my cynicism is kind of like, it comes back to some of this, and when I see a lot of the things Asha's doing, and things that are being attributed to Asha as Asha's decision, and I have heard that Asha is reduced a lot of the red tape, some of the. She's kind of said to Satya, if we want to run this more efficiently, we've got to reduce the red tape and the approval processes. And I think they've gotten to a place where they can iterate more quickly. But I think it's also it kind of bugs me that Phil is catching a lot of the flack in a way for things that happen. And sure, I'm not suggesting Phil didn't make decisions that I think were questionable. I've said this to him personally. I think a lot of people that the de-emphasis on exclusives was absolutely a fantastic mistake.
You told him to his face?
Yeah, I said it to him, Matt Bowie, and I think Aaron was there as well in LA.
Oh shit!
Why are we doing this for? I think that was my actual word. But but at the same time, it's like Phil's got the data, which says like,
fuck I think he said, data. I'm sorry, I don't believe the data. Yeah. I don't believe that. Data.
Well, he said to kind of funny, Flawed. Like he said like Starfield could be a 12 out of 10 game and it wouldn't move the needle.
That's bullshit.
And
statement.
I think like
that's a bullshit statement.
I mean, we don't have we don't have like an alternative dimension generator to find out what would happen otherwise. But I do think there is when you're building a product, you kind of like you can't just have this mechanical view of it, and you can't just have this view of like we're just going to be all data, and ignore some of the more human kind of elements, because there is a humanistic kind of element here where it's like sentiment matters, I think, and even if it wouldn't move the needle necessarily to have these exclusives, I think it does move the needle in the opposite direction, where like people will abandon the platform. Like, yeah, maybe having exclusives won't bring people in, but I think not having exclusives will force people out, So, but again, it's like how do you measure that? You can't really measure that because you can't travel to another dimension and like use hindsight or whatever to figure out what's going on. But clearly they're eager to change and experiment with things because like I say, if Call of Duty well and truly is being exited from Game Pass to chase a price drop, or like some kind of restructuring of Game Pass or something, I've got a strong feeling like the way that I've been hearing this information, like the recency of it makes me think something might be announced pretty soon with regards to this. Mm-hmm. If it is true, like I ain't 100% certain, but it's just like kind of like using my intuition after been doing this for so long, like the way this information sort of arrived to me, it kind of makes me feel like
knows stuff. By the way, he knows some shit. He's met people. He had a phone call with someone
he knows,
and he told me like there's some shit coming out. So Paris Lee knows, like legit, directly knows. He won't tell me, obviously.
Paris knows a lot, man.
But yeah, he does. He does actually genuinely knows, and he's we were talking today.
Paris been around the block, man.
Yeah, make him sound like a prostitute. He's been around the block. No, but Paris has contacts, and he's hooked up. He knows his shit. He won't tell me at all. He's very tight-lipped, and that's fine. But there's some. It's still intriguing because there's some big changes. So I think you're right about those imminent changes. But I find it very interesting. I didn't know that you said that to Phil Spencer's face. Respect. Jez, respect. Unlike some people sit in party chat and literally just sat there, suck him off. They don't even mention Xbox. You can said to him in front of Matt Booty, in front of freaking Aaron Greenberg, you said, what the fuck are you guys doing? And that's exactly the opportunity I wanted to have to speak to it. I reckon if I sat down with Asha, I'm like, yo, you need to fucking understand something. You want to bring the renegade spirit back? That means you need to be able to fly in the face of the very person that appointed you and put you in this position. Because that renegade spirit requires you to really seriously reconsider Xbox's approach to exclusives. And if you did that, despite the fact that you've opened the floodgates and Pandora's box and people think it's completely untenable that Xbox would go back to really take away money off the table to just cater for a dwindling fan base on just PC and the Xbox, you would send out a statement that would send a shockwave across the entire industry that shows, yes, I am Asha Sharma, this is Xbox, and we do have the confidence in our own brand to sustain ourselves, whether instead of resorting to a third party, which was previously our competitor, and now we're trying to rejig the narrative to say that they're not really a competitor. Instead of doing this halfway house, you did that, you would be very close to James Allard, who did the very thing that I'm telling you to do, because he flew in the face of Bill Gates. Original Xbox team were very renegade. So renegade, in fact, that they made Bill Gates storm out of the office when they revealed that original Xbox. Asha Sharma, if you have the wrong word. If you have the ball, you know what I mean, proverbial balls, and you want to come back and say renegade spirit, that's what you need to do. And it would benefit. It's just not coming from an Xbox stan or anything. I'm one of the few people who just wants competition in this space. And this is such a far-fetched idea, but it really is what Xbox needs to do. But it needs to be backed up by real conviction, real confidence, and that renegade spirit manifesting itself in more than just words. But if that happened, imagine the landscape. The other two platform holders are maintaining exclusivity. All well and good. You're in third place. So it's not like you're doing something so out there. But all you're saying is, I have brand, I have faith in the brand that I'm running. People will be like, holy shit, these guys have done. Xbox are going back in, fighting to have the next Doom, Elder Scrolls, Fallout, all of that shit is coming, staying. I'm gonna... Gears of War, you're not going to have that on PlayStation? What the fuck? That would reinvigorate so much energy in the industry, galvanize PlayStation to actually fix its shit together as well, so it's not got more cancelled games than announced games. Now they have to think about, holy fuck, these guys are actually awake. They've got all these Western RPGs. We got jack shit. They got a Forza Horizon, which is going to sell really well on PlayStation when they eventually release it, but they've got a taste now, and now they're pulling it away. The next Forza Horizon, what the fuck? They had a little bit of taste of Gears. The next Gears looks good. They're not going to release it. Obviously, that's coming out on PlayStation, but what the fuck? You've given them a taste, and now you pulled it away. And it would be so good for the entire gaming industry. I'm sorry. You're like, how is that good? You're depriving people of it, blah, blah, blah. Well, then fucking cry about the inequity of the other two platform holders that are maintaining exclusivity and are very healthy. So that's what needs to happen. Asha Sharma, it's not just fanboyism. It isn't just this whole console war narrative that a lot of people will still refuse to believe that it's coming from it. It's coming from a position of showing, backing up your words, and doing what Satya Nadella said this whole thing was about with the buyout and stuff, which is about competition. All of that went by the wayside. You sucked the energy out of the industry, and it was Xbox's responsibility as a $1 trillion company, Microsoft's $1 trillion company, coming in and brute forcing its way by spending money, and you didn't have the base decency to maintain the brand by competing. Not good enough. You need to do that. That's exactly how I would say it to Asha Sharma. And is there anything less than that? You're just your head above water. Xbox it will be irrelevant as a brand in a few years, and I sincerely believe that.
One thing I have heard recently is like, because there's like a big thing going on in the Windows universe right now as well. I don't know if you saw this, but Microsoft, the Windows team, put out a blog post not a couple of weeks ago where they basically apologized for the state of Windows, and they were like, yeah, we're going to listen to feedback now. It was literally the same sort of playbook that's going on at Xbox right now, where it's like, yeah, we know we fucked up and we know things need to be better, and we're getting rid of some of the AI stuff that doesn't make sense. Like, you don't need Copilot and fucking MS Paint, for God's sake. And you know, they're rolling back some of this stuff, but also like they're doing like little things that people have been asking for, like Xbox, like bringing back the vertical taskbar, because people keep begging for that to come back.
Oh,
and
really?
that was like something that, yeah, and that kind of thing. So there is this sort of like, it feels like a company-wide thing, and I've been trying to investigate why this is and why this is happening now, and I don't know the exact reason, but one thing I have been told is that some of the margin pressures that were being put on Xbox, as reported by, you know, Jason Schreier at Bloomberg, I've been told those have been rescinded, and I would
Really, the
expect
30%
that,
margin calls have been rescinded.
Yeah, from what I've heard, or not necessarily fully rescinded. They still have to have a profitable business, but like I've heard they've been sort of like relaxed or something to that degree.
That's a big deal if that happens.
Yeah,
because that's a big reason why there's so
indeed.
much internal discord between the game devs and the management.
Indeed. So, you know, it's if that is true, and they're in a position where like not just Xbox but also Windows, and it's kind of like, you know, we kind of the self-imposed austerity that we put on ourselves has led to a situation where people are actively looking at our competitors, you know, and this isn't just like an Xbox thing, but it's also a Windows thing. Like, there's so like PC Gamer keeps putting out articles like about how great Linux is and like everyone wants to switch to Linux, blah blah blah. Like, people hate Windows right now.
Don't blame them.
And Microsoft's earned that with its inaction and its and I suppose it's distraction, as Satya was focused so heavily on whether or not this AI thing was going to pan out. But I think like when they look at like where the landscape where AI is right now, it's kind of bottlenecked by the amount of silicon they can get or the lack of silicon. And it's also bottlenecked by the electricity. And it's probably going to take like a decade for that infrastructure to build out because TSMC or TMSC, I can never remember the acronym, but the company that makes all the fucking silicon in Taiwan, like they're like actively working towards building new fabrications, plants and all this kind of stuff. And that's going to take a really, 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 really long time to set up. So in the interim, you kind of need to, fall back on your bread and butter. And your bread and butter is Xbox and Windows. And unfortunately, if you've been like neglecting it like they have been, it's, it's not going to be, you're not going to have any bread and butter when you need it. So
yeah,
it does seem like Satya's kind of woken up to some of this stuff. And I don't know if you saw as well that since December, Satya kind of has a new role at Microsoft. He's the CEO still. But like they've handed off some of the business-oriented aspects of Satya's job to a new, I think his job title is literally CEO of Business Operations or something like that. It's the worst job title ever. But no, I think it's CEO of the commercial business or something like that. So he's like basically in charge of some of the business-oriented stuff. And now Satya's like gone back to a more technical, product-oriented role where he's like overseeing like the quality of some of this shit. And I think like that is part of this push to like re-engage not only with gamers but also their employees. Like Satya was there with an Xbox hoodie. I don't think that's ever happened before. And it just genuinely feels like they've realized how bigly they've fucked up. But
that
it's
kind of disclosure I need to see in here from Asha Sharma. It would be very nice to have a candid interview and say, hey, by the way, this is what happened. And I think it would go a long way, even if it's a public statement that for the developers internally, they're like, oh my God, she's come out and said it. Like, yeah. So typically, and my predecessor through Microsoft's company, we were distracted by AI, and what we didn't do is do right by what we did by our gamers. Obviously, the pressure that was felt globally has afflicted the entire gaming industry is a problem, but I don't think we particularly did well as a result of doing it, and this is why we will do X. This is the kind of, make me the fucking CEO, bruv. I can even do the whole parasocial thing and deliver good statements and make Xbox great again. And the renegade spirit. That sounded like a MAGA line that wasn't intended that way. But yeah, yeah. Paris is in the chat. He goes, did I get the top? I want to hear about the top 5 tips on parasocial tips. I'll tell you the top 5 tips based on what I've heard the parasocial crew do. First of all,
parasocial crew.
I'm not going to mention names. Stalk Phil Spencer and all the execs and where they're staying at their hotels. 2, form a WhatsApp group and give live updates. 3, set up a stooge that will be willing to wait for hours on end to follow them around to give said live updates. 4, bring some Vaseline. And 5, make sure that you make it very clear publicly how much the circumference of your nether regions has increased. And there you are. That's a good top 5 tips on how to be parasocial for Xbox. Look, there a lot of people came up. Shout out to 150 people in the chat. Smash the like button as we get into some memes. Paris Lily was reaching out to me because they're so pissed at me just doing the unboxing of the thing. He goes like, he gets shit from PlayStation, he gets shit from Xbox, but it's the Xbox stuff. Even if it's just a t-shirt, they go fucking mental about it, which is understandable. It was a good chat. But having met Paris, right, and met a group of different type of content creators, Paris is one of the few people that it doesn't just mindlessly glaze. I think Paris gets a bad rep as a result. I think the yellow chair thing, yeah, it does. But I will say that I still don't like the whole parasocial thing. I think it's fucking lame. And I think that the how quickly people have hopped off the Spencer train to the Asha Sharma train is insane. I find it cringe. I find it weird. And I feel like as grown adults, you get manipulated by corporations. But you know, at the same time, I think about it, and I'm like, Aaron Greenberg shared a. I didn't know this person. Aaron Greenberg shared a tweet. Someone in the community, Xbox addict or someone who was big in the community, really.
I knew him.
You knew him?
I knew him. Yep.
Yeah. He was a really nice guy. He passed away sadly.
He was an amazing guy.
He was apparently a really nice guy. Yeah. Yep. And I don't know. So that was the other thing that he was all parasocial.
This is like. I'll say this, right. This is one of the things with like the parasocial kind of argument. Like, I want to enjoy things, you know. I want to be invested in things. Like, for me, I find it enjoyable to be like really invested in things. And I wrote an article today about bitching about the way Blizzard's been handling the Horde, right, in World of Warcraft. And I was sitting there writing, thinking like, I'm a grown ass man. This is like kind of lame that I care this much about a video game faction. And I was like almost talking myself out of writing it. And then I was like, you know what? Actually, no, I care about this. Yeah. I'm not going to pretend that I don't care about this because it's uncool on the internet. Yeah. So fuck it. I'll be uncool on the internet. You know, the whole point of me liking the Horde that much was it was like a sort of safe way online for me to be a geek and geek out over something. So, you know, whether it's Xbox or World of Warcraft or Horde or sports teams or whatever it is, I think people just like being a fan of things sometimes. And yeah, some people take it way too fucking far. Yeah. Whether it's like football hooligans, whether it's like whatever it is, people take it way too far. And you know the sort of and you get to a point where you get stalker kind of behavior and that kind of shit too. But I think like if we just sort of like, I think it's fine and dandy to be a fan of something. But even like, it's better to be just, I think it's a positive thing. You know, there's so much like shitty stuff in the world. Just having like, being able to be a fan is, I think, something that should be okay, you know.
Absolutely. So, I do agree with that. I do agree with you. I take the piss out of it. And some people really love it. I saw Aaron Greenberg's tweet about this Xbox addict guy, and then I saw a tweet about his mom, and like he really loved Xbox. It really helped him out from a tough place. He served in the army. I think something happened. He was in a wheelchair, and obviously a lot of challenges. He was a father and stuff like that. And Xbox did have it basically saved his spirit, saved his life because he was part of a community. It was a big thing. Xbox Execs took place, and it added. You know, we can sit here and judge like, oh, that's fucking lame, man. You're like a game corporation, but he was part of like a family and stuff, like a crew, and that in itself, I understand that, and I'm not a dickhead, debatable, but you know, at the same time, I was just like, right.
It's the issue is like blind fanboyism, you know, like if you're like the good fans are people who criticize, and they're criticized because they're passionate about it, but like me and Rand get stick for being negative sometimes, and some people just like they hate it when you say anything negative, and they want you to be a cheerleader, and they want you to sort of never sort of like think critically about things, and or just, you know. And I'll admit though, like sometimes like I go too far in the other direction. It's like I just like maybe just feeling negative in general, and then end up projecting that negativity onto other things. Yeah. So like it can go both ways, but I think like the important thing is just to not be a blind fanboy, but also not be like just in the other direction where it's just like you just can't see anything good about it. Like there's some people who felt so burned by Xbox not being their sports team anymore, and actually it is a corporation that needs to make money, that to this day they've spent years and years and years hating Xbox and everything it represents, and
basically that's 90% of PlayStation podcast, but yeah, you just described that.
Yeah, I mean it is. Truth be told, a lot of the big PlayStation podcasts we see like on Twitter, they used to be Xbox oriented, especially like the American podcasts where like Xbox was sort of the bigger platform for a while with a certain age group, you know, and they all felt really burned, and now they've gone like toxic in the other direction, and it's just kind of sad, really.
Yeah, no, it is. That's like Paris says, be proud of the things you enjoy. The internet is filled with basement dwelling losers who do nothing but troll to give themselves some happiness. That's so true as well. You're right there. And then I think there's a healthy balance there. I think when adults go in out of their way to become a martyr for the corporation, that's crazy. I was like, with my source videos, I was massively taking the piss out of PlayStation guys. But I always had this element of holding Xbox's feet to the fire as well. And every time I did that, there was pushback from these guys who were religious zealous from the Xbox side. So to the point where I got, you know, that whole fiasco where I had like 2022 or whatever, where I was rinsing them. I had a whole like, you're the new crap gamer, not realizing that my sense of humor, my the satire, you've got lost it. You felt the character that I played. I think this is an American problem as well, that the satire of it or the sarcasm was lost. But then I saw grown adults really actually feed into it. Like they really, like I've seen it from very close ex-friend groups, how it really manifests itself in a very selfish way, weird way. And that's like, your critical analysis skills are completely down. You're a grown adult simping for a corporation and you genuinely feel like this. PlayStation Camp is full of characters like that through resentment, are embodying what Paris said about being just sad basement dwelling trolls. At the same time, the Xbox Camp also has a lot of personalities now. I'm just like, right, well, you were just grifting at this point. All you care about is the brand. You will just simp whatever it takes. Some people do it for fun. Other people just are what they are. So Asha Sharma has a very, very tricky kind of thing to kind of balance out, because Phil Spencer, bless his heart, one of the positive things we talked about was his ability to talk to everyone and being transparent as Microsoft is one of the positive things that we said it was done, until he had to recede away as a double-edged sword. And I think Asha Sharma is going to find out very quickly how the other end of that sword can get really sharp and start making you bleed badly to the point where you start to recede away from the public eye. Right now she's on a high. But, that's her challenge. That's her tough luck. I just find some of that really weird. But at the same time, I'm reminded of the fact that it's nice to be part of something. I just won't be like that. But I'm not going to rinse people too much. But there is an element of I just want to fucking gun some weird fuckers. But it is what it is. That's a good conversation on parasocial bastards. But it is what it is. Another it is what it is. Before I go in to talk about that, we have to talk about, and we're at the freaking 2-hour mark. I haven't even talked about fucking Forza Horizon, which is the thumbnail of this game. A lot of people managed to get to play the game. They've had hands on with it and very early on they've had a chance to what's it called? Get hands on loads of people, all the influencers. Have you got access to it? Have you played it?
I was offered, but like I just didn't have time. So my colleague Richard Devine, who actually has a racing license in real life, or he did have when he was younger.
Oh right.
He played it. And he just loves it. Thinks it's fantastic.
Yeah.
I watched the video. He made a video for it, like on Windows Central's gaming channel, and it just looks amazing. When I'm not into racing games much, but like the Forza Horizon games, like they're always like really impressive to look at from a technical perspective. And I'm kind of hyped on Japan right now because I've just been to Okinawa, right?
Oh yeah, you
have. I'm not a huge vacationing kind of guy. Like I've been to, I go to places because oftentimes like my girlfriend likes to go traveling and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm sort of begrudgingly like, obviously I like spending time with her, but my idea of a good time is like, stay at home, watch the telly, cup of tea,
Yeah.
That's the idea. That's my idea of vacation.
Yeah.
But like Okinawa was like absolutely fantastic. Like the Japanese society and everyone, because I'm a fat bearded Westerner, right? And I was thinking like, man, they're gonna stare at me like I'm a freak and stuff like that. And it's just like, no, they didn't. Like everyone was just like minding their own business and like, I think super nice and super polite and friendly and stuff. Taxi drivers are always fantastic. I just loved it. So, I'm pretty high on Japan right now, and watch a bit of anime in my youth and a bit of embarrassing, weeaboo kind of phase. Okay. So one of the things that I think is really interesting is like one of the FanFest locations is in Japan.
Oh yeah.
And it does feel like Microsoft again is like, we're not giving up on cracking that market, because obviously Xbox just doesn't exist there. Like it just doesn't exist.
They have to persevere in that market.
I mean, it'll exist like on PlayStation, because Forza is obviously going to be absolutely massive on PlayStation.
Yeah,
like it already is.
Yeah,
I think like even if they did start putting exclusives on Xbox, I think Forza is probably one franchise that you probably don't make exclusive to Xbox. I think it's just too big for one platform. But I digress. Yeah, the game looks fantastic. I think it's going to be obviously very popular in Japan, but also like globally. And I suppose it's a big sign of confidence that they're willing to let people download the build and give it a try so early, I suppose.
Yeah, no, honestly,
Halo Infinite was like that as well. Like letting I think the review period for that was like a month. This is the biggest review period I've ever had, I think.
Yeah, no, I think they, if there's any one title that you say they'd be very confident on, it's this. I don't see them messing this up at all. In fact, actually, this is the first time on stream I've seen I tried to avoid it because I wanted to experience this first initial race myself, because it's a rite of passage. But for the sake of the show, I played it. I've complained about how the visuals haven't astounded me, but at the same time, I'm watching this and I'm like, okay, it looks fucking sick. Maybe not a generational jump, because I was expecting, because the last game was cross-gen, but at the same time, this still looks amazing. It still looks very impressive. I'm looking at it now and I'm like, okay, what is this going to look like on my ray tracing maxed out graphics? This is going to look fucking crazy. So it does look very good. I was a bit premature in writing off the visuals from based on the gameplay I saw. To the point where I wanted to avoid it, but this looks amazing. And you're right about the importance of spectacle in Forza games. Oh, what the fuck have I just done there? Sorry. And Forza Motorsport was missing that, despite it being, they tried really hard with the visuals and stuff like that. It was missing the spectacle that old Forza, even the Motorsport games had. Oh shit, are you serious? They put you in an 8086? Oh no, I thought they would. But the fact that they even featured that on the... This is the thing with this game. This game is going to capture Japanese car culture, which is massive. And it's going to go viral for so many Japanese people going to be sharing it. You can see the Wangan Midnight. I've seen clips of people like racing on the Shibuya Highway, whatever. The motorways. Like if you watched the Wangan Midnight, I've talked about it before. You've got these races on the hills, like Mount Akina from Initial D. So you're going to have drift racing. Car culture in Japan is so big, and this is going to capture the shit out of it. So I'm very excited about it. I've been watching clips, people are sharing about the sound design of this game, how when someone comparing a stock, Mark IV Supra to a twin turbo Mark IV Supra, and the sound design is amazing, making me think, why a single turbo Supra will sound fucking crazy in that game as well. They've gone really hard on the sound design. It's beautiful, like visually, in terms of its art style, because you've got the blossoms there, cherry blossom trees. It's just like, it looks really aesthetically pleasing. It's such a good game world to be in anyway, and it's in Japan, so it's the ultimate location for Forza. So it's not one they can afford to even mess up. I did want some big changes from the template. Sometimes I see the argument, and I do agree to a certain degree that it's always a biome change with Forza. You just slap on a new environment and that's it, and then it's that's it. But at the same time, with Japan, there's so much avenues to play with that I just don't see how you cannot not be interested in it. My big concerns are some of the cheesy story festival stuff, like oh hey and all the dialogue and shit. I don't like that, and I'm like, hey guys, oh wow, you're doing really well. Oh wow, you're cracking up. And this is kind of like rags to riches story, which is going back, which is good. I like that element of it. I wish a little bit more seriousness would be good, but even in touch with the festival vibes. But when I heard the starting music that they used for the title screen of this game, I was like, yo. Because for the last two games, I was not impressed with the title screen music. And you might think, well, that's a fucking weird thing to say. But when they used Lane 8 like intro music for this game, I was like, yo, what are the tweets that was? This looks fucking amazing, man. Look at it. What the fuck was I complaining about? Holy shit, look at the mountains and the clouds there and all that detail there. Imagine what this is gonna look on my freaking 5090, you peasant motherfucker.
I knew that was coming.
I'm such an obnoxious prick. But come on, man. It's going to be amazing. Look at that. The mountain at the back. It looks fucking beautiful. I was wrong. I thought this game had pretty pared down visuals, but actually, I haven't seen it like this. I was trying to avoid it, but oh, that looks sick. Yeah, the soundtrack has to be on point. You've done really well with the title screen. It looks amazing. Look at the jets coming up over here. It's just this is Forza Horizon. This is gonna get people, even PlayStation guys. You're gonna get the game, but a little bit later, you're gonna be salivating at the prospect of playing this game because it's Forza Horizon, which will arguably be, which is set to be the best racer of this generation. Because the last one is Forza Horizon 5, the highest rated racer. Forza Horizon 6, though, is heading in a very good direction. It's probably, maybe, perhaps, where the franchise actually peaks as well. So it remains to be seen. Playground Games, they are on a massive win streak here. And if they deliver in this next month, it's going to be big. It'll be a massive tetanus shot to Xbox generally across the board, setting them up for the masses of hype that will be leading up to the Summer Game Showcase. So I think this could be good. Previews from reviewers have been extremely positive. I've seen clips, even from one chap from Games Radar. I forget his name. He always does the car reviews and always has a Sony bias. He was like, yo, this is going to be big. IGN, all the big boys have said that this is looking to be a dank schleem, and I'm sure they're going to go hard on it.
Fucking schleem.
It's going to be stuck in your head now. You're going to start saying schleem. You know what schleems are. Forza Horizon 6, that's going to be a big one. So I don't know what else we could say about that, but it's going to be wicked. Forza Horizon 5 stomped Sony's charts. Yes, it did, for good reason, even after multiple years later being released, because that's Forza. And that gave a taste to PlayStation guys about the power of Forza. When it comes to the Japan release, they're going to go crazy. They're going to be like, yo, why can't we play this game day one? What the fuck's going on? And this is a good opportunity for, Xbox to try and explore, even if it's in a limited fashion, timed exclusivity as well for some games like Gears of War. That's how you build a conversation about your brand. And if you don't do that, it's over. I just want to say, I started a gym. Oh, Paris, are you proud of me? I'm starting to get a little bit of shape, and my creatine's coming in. Just fucking looking. I'm gonna get even bigger, bro. Fuck it, Paris. You want to fight? Let's do it. Yeah. So positive stuff. You got Replaced coming out in a couple of weeks, which I'm very excited about. That's a day one for me. I liked the demo. I thought it was really good. It just combat was good. That's in, when's Replaced? I say 2 weeks, isn't it? 1 week. Replaced release date. Let's see. The Replaced is coming out 14th of April. Holy shit, 3 days. Oh my God, time is going so quick. Are you doing that symbol on purpose, episode 13, that little Chinese thing? Can you see that in the chat, or is it just me? Because I'm going mental. I'm going mental here. But yeah, Replaced coming out in 3 days. Can't wait for that. Then you're going to have freaking Soros for me is end of April. April 30th is where Soros is coming out. I think that's going to be amazing. But next week, Jez, we're going to get the PlayStation State of Play. What do you think they will show at the State of Play?
No idea. I don't follow PlayStation stuff. I don't have time for it.
Oh my God, you're such a hater. You're such a hater.
I'm not. I just don't. I don't have a PlayStation. I don't care about PlayStation.
You don't care at all. You don't care about play.
No.
Why?
No. I
mean, games don't appeal to you.
I care even. Yeah, like there's that, but also like even less now. Like their games ain't coming to PC. Like there's Death Stranding, which I suppose will. I think Death Stranding 2 already did come to PC, actually, didn't it?
Yes.
But like, and I've got Ghost of Tsushima. It runs great on my Xbox Ally.
Yeah.
But it's like they ain't like
Yote.
It's kind of one of them. I won't I don't want to buy a console just for a few games.
I bought my PS5 Pro for this game.
Yeah, I mean, maybe when I get my own place, but like, I mean, I just physically don't have space for a PlayStation right now.
What, you live in Japan or something?
Like,
it's quite big though.
I mean, kind of.
Yeah. Bro, this game looks amazing to me. I can't wait to play this. I bought my PlayStation 5 Pro is going to gather dust. I know for a fact it's going to gather dust. But I'm in a fortunate position where I can buy a game for one title or maybe two. And this game is... Oh, they got fucking little early access shit as well for this game. That's fucking lame. But okay. Takes away from the spirit of what Housemarque do. But anyway, it is what it is. You know, the State of Play's coming out next week. We haven't even seen Wolverine gameplay yet. So I'm expecting to see some Wolverine gameplay. We have to see it. It's coming out this year. So, and we've got a release date, don't we? Do we have a release date for Wolverine?
No idea. No idea.
I think, yeah.
I also don't like Marvel. I can't stand Marvel shit either.
I'm not a massive Marvel fan. Well, I say that to a certain degree. I like X-Men based on Hickman's books. Marvel stuff on TV has been absolutely... compare Dune versus fucking Avengers. You think I'm going to watch Avengers over Dune? If you're someone who's... My friend was saying, if you watch Avengers, you pick Avengers over Dune, you deserve to be lobotomized, you piece of shit. There's no way you should be watching. Dune 3 is going to be the source. It's a real cinema. This is why Blade Runner 2049 didn't hit even as a commercial flop. Because fuckers like you watch freaking Marvel shit. Superheroes. La la la. La la la. Although I love X-Men. So I'm going to counterback what I've just said. I'm actually excited about Wolverine. And I think the State of Play is coming out next week. Wolverine gameplay should feature. Absolutely. I was surprised that it's a mission last one. And a Wolverine showcase will go a long way. But I know for a fact Soros is coming as well, so that will feature quite heavily. I don't know how much more gameplay of Soros you can show, and people are like, oh yeah, I think we've kind of rinsed it. Soros is like Returnal, is like a game. You've shown enough, it looks impressive. It's not, you can get diminishing returns in the wow factor of showing more gameplay. At this point, people just want to play it. It's one of those games you have to play. The gameplay is key. Whereas Wolverine, I would argue, is more style over substance in terms of gameplay. Now, you might cry about what I've just said, but what that means is the cinematics. Look at it. They didn't even show you hardly any gameplay, but it's called a gameplay trailer. And there's not much gameplay in here. If you go back, you'll see, okay, some canned animations, and you'll see the same animation over a few times, maybe a couple of swipes. But that doesn't mean, you know, I want to see meaningful gameplay. How does traversal work? Is it an open world fucking game where you just replace Spider-Man with fucking Wolverine? I don't want to see that. I want to see a more linear game. I want to see what actual combat...
Can you cut people's arms and legs off?
You can. Literally, as you said that, you're literally cutting people's arms and legs off. The way they've gone about
now I'm a bit more interested.
You like your violent, bro. Look at this fucking gameplay. All he's doing is cutting people's arms and legs off. It looks amazing. Their faces being shot. Extremely violent. You don't even see that. And look at that. There's just blood everywhere. And this is what I wanted to see. And this is what Wolverine always needed to be to match the comic books. It's just like all that violence. It looks beautiful. I want to see more gameplay. It's a good time to show it as well this week before Xbox starts having its big heavy releases. You don't want it to just, your PlayStation to kind of like die in obscurity in terms of its public facing stuff, or, you know, this is an uncharacteristically strong year for the PlayStation 5 generation, which they basically coasted, in my opinion, for the vast majority of this gen. So this is a big strong year because you've got Saros here, which is maybe no more niche, and I don't think it will be a big seller, but Wolverine will be, and it's a Marvel IP. You need to lead with it and show us more shleams. So we'll see the shleams of PlayStation State of Play and see what they're going to show there. Marvel to come will be there. You'll love the shleams. I don't expect them to show anything else, but if they want to surprise with Intergalactic, then yeah, fine. You can show us that, and we can make some memes with that. So that is State of Play. Expecting you next week. Should be good. The last State of Play was decent. I did see a lot of people A+, and I'm like, oh right, the standards have dropped so badly for PlayStation now that any kind of decent basic show is seen as A++. But that's the new PlayStation, new age PlayStation. Speaking of which, I need to talk about Marathon. Another game that came out this year that I really love, which makes this year a very good year for PlayStation for me. I love Marathon. I think it's a great game. I haven't even gone back to Ark Raiders yet because I love the PvP hype for it. Telma Henderson has spent like 150 hours on it. He's like level 90 or something. He's got a lot of hours.
Loves it.
Yeah.
Rand's got like 1 billion hours in it as well. And it's
Ark
kind
Raiders,
of funny because like, Marathon.
Oh, really?
And Ark Raiders. But Rand loves Marathon. And it's kind of funny because like a lot of the PlayStation guys, Xbox guys that I speak to, they all really love Marathon.
Yeah.
But like when I look on Twitter and, you know, the algorithm shows me random stuff, it feels like a lot of people are celebrating the fact that like its Steam numbers are going down and people are like, oh, the game cost 200 million and it's a flop, you know, and all this kind of stuff. And it's just like it does feel like this game is like, I haven't played it myself, so I don't know, but it does feel like based on everyone I know that I trust saying it's good, it feels like the game is overhated.
Absolutely.
Do you get a sense that it's overhated?
Absolutely it is. Absolutely it is. It's a combination of console war stuff. Absolutely.
Is this the PlayStation tax?
This is the PlayStation tax. It's also a Bungie tax. It's a Bungie tax.
It's a Bungie tax.
It is a massive Bungie tax.
I think it's a Destiny tax, actually.
Absolutely.
Because I think a lot of people are like,
Bungie,
we want... Because I've seen this in other studios before where studios have multiple projects and they're kind of like, why aren't you focusing on the product or the project we want you to focus on? Yeah. Why are you investing in this instead of Destiny?
Yeah.
And it does feel like there's an element of that. Like,
mate, there's an absolutely huge element of people crying about this because they wanted Destiny and wanting this to fail as we told you so. But what Bungie have managed to do is deliver an excellent extraction shooter with their own flavor. And it has a few things going out for it. I'm actually working on a video for Insider Gaming talking about whether or not this game will live or die. And I have a definitive stance on it, actually, which is, well, you can probably guess where it's at, but I love this game.
I think Rand said he thinks it'll be shut down in a year.
I won't say too much because I'm going to kind of spoil.
And Rand says that as a fan of it.
Yeah. And, that will be a massive shame. And I'm not, this is not like Concord, like you bunch of weirdos who fucking loved and died on that hill, on Concord Hill, which you have no standards for multiplayer. This is a unique shooter with its own distinct art style, which is a double-edged sword and probably one of the reasons why this game isn't doing that well. And its numbers are dwindling. Every week, the numbers dwindle. On a Friday evening, I saw in American time was at 25,000, which is not sustainable, despite the fact that Bungie's developers have said that they will maintain this long term. But that's almost a default statement. It came out from the mouths of Highguard's developers, and that died in 1 month. It came out the mouths of 343's developers' mouths regarding Halo Infinite and their 10-year plan, and that died. So there's no way on earth you should take that as face value and have any degree of confidence in that statement to assuage your face that this game is going to survive. It is on the limit, perhaps beyond it. The developers will be very nervous who have worked on this game, and it's a shame because this is a great title. It has a lot of scope for improvement, and I don't know what else to say. It's one of those, like, you have to support it or watch it die. I've seen too many good first-person shooters die as for a myriad of different reasons. A lot of the hate campaign for this or whatever or not. With Titanfall 2, we blamed it for being squeezed between Battlefield and Call of Duty. And then we're going to have another game that's going to die, in my opinion, prematurely and unfairly. And it's not something we should celebrate. And I feel like console wars and all of that shit takes so much precedence over some of the narrative beyond it. And you're like, guys, you'll want to speak, but listen to me. Why am I backing it so hard? Bungie not paying me. Sony don't love me. Let's be honest. But I'm backing this because I think we should cut the bullshit out and support good games. You may think this is a terrible game, but there's a corner of people who do actually put a decent amount of hours in and recognize it for being a good game. This is different. I went hard on Concord. I'm not going to go hard on Marathon. I hope it survives, but things are not looking good for Marathon. And we found out this week that its development budget was over $200 million. And that is a cause for concern because that just means that there's a lot more money to recoup. And that's not even taking into account the recurring fees of maintaining this, because maintaining a game like this, keeping the servers up, is not exactly very easy. And we've got Insider Gaming's article: Marathon's development budget is over $200 million, says new report. I think it's coming from Forbes. They said it's likely over 250 million, excluding maintenance costs and upcoming content. So that's going to take some time. And obviously, in order to keep this game going, you need to make sure that you have to have ongoing content. That's a prerequisite for games like this. So more pressure, more costs being incurred in terms of development to get your roadmap pushed up. You have to push up your roadmap. It has to be a lot more aggressive now based on those numbers. Currently, the game has a concurrent player count of 20,306 players, down from an all-time peak of 88,337, which is significantly lower than the free what's it called, SummerSlam or Server Slam that came out.
SummerSlam.
I always say SummerSlam, fucking wrestling shit. Actually, the next point is there. The peak itself is down from 143,621, which is the free Server Slam. Additionally, the game is the 77th in the daily active Steam players as of the time of this writing. And that's not good, because a game like this, you can imagine, is probably going to have a lot more higher player numbers on PC as opposed to console. So it's going to be a shame. I hope it survives. It looking sketchy, but if you withstand the pressures, Bungie, and you have a good plan for content, you can make some schleems. But we'll see.
Motherfucking schleems, man.
That's what I'm talking about, man. It's all about the schleems. So that's Marathon. Yeah, I think we've covered pretty much everything. And it's been.
I want to give a shout out, by the way. I want to give a shout out to Socks, who's currently tanking a Skyreach plus 11 for me in World of Warcraft. Shout out to Scott Socks. He's watching the show, I think.
Oh, you're watching it. So wait, Stocks is playing on your account?
No, he's tanking. I'm playing well the whole show.
He's been playing. Shout out Stocks.
I gotta get my vault done.
What class are you playing?
I'm playing my Death Knight right now, but I was playing my Warlock earlier.
Oh, shit.
I only play the emo classes.
It's
gotta be edgy and emo.
I love my emo class. Before we go out, I just want to talk about the final topic. Just it's something that came up, and I thought it was quite interesting. We've talked about it kind of in limited capacity before, but the rumor mill now, we're going to start to see what's happening with these next gen consoles. And the PlayStation 6 is Sony's claim to be working on a cheaper model of the PlayStation 6, with a possible price point, we'll see, of something between $350 to $550 is the cheaper region. And I was like, oh, that's the PlayStation Series S. And there have been rumors about a SKU that's a portable version of the PlayStation, which will essentially be the Series S version. Because if you're talking about PlayStation 6 games that have to be able to work, assuming they have a parity clause or anything, but essentially you're a thing that has to scale for a handheld or a hybrid device in Nintendo, that is going to be very, very, very controversial when it's announced, if it's announced, if that is the thing. Because for the entirety of this generation, we have been talking about how the Xbox Series S is holding back gaming, how it's held back the Series X, how it's held back gaming in general, like it's a potato, how damn Series X has become a meme. So the PlayStation 6 is being hamstrung or being held by a handheld device. How on earth will there be any narrative to kind of counter that? Their own narratives that they've said for years. I don't know. I feel like that would be, yeah, and I think Sony can take the piss with that.
It's just silly, like the whole holding back generations thing, and we believe in generations. Like the whole argument was such bullshit. And in like a universe where everything's x86 and developers are, optimizing their games for like low end graphics cards and the fucking Steam Deck and all this kind of shit. It's like the whole debate was just console war garbage, and watching like so-called reputable outlets like go along with that shit was so cringe. Like, oh yeah, like, well, I can't remember what website it was, but one of them was like, Microsoft's robbing us of the next gen thrill with its Xbox Series S, you know, and it's like, God. come the fuck on, man. Let it's crazy.
I mean,
but you know,
okay, we can blame Microsoft for that, and the Series S is, you know, had enough RAM and stuff. I don't think it held the entire industry back, which has shown a remarkable aversion to making any kind of gains gen on gen anyway. And the baseline spec that they'd be catering for are ancient PCs as it is. So is that the case? Like, are you? And let's be honest, the PlayStation camp were very strong on that point about hating the Series S for that. I want to see the same energy from you guys. Like, I want to see the same energy. Like, you know, the Series S, you've resigned, you've declared it to be a failure, even though in reality, Baldur's Gate 6, I think Black Myth Wukong, and I don't know what else, but there's a handful after the end of the generation, or coming to the end of the Xbox generation, and the next consoles come out next year, and we have a handful of, not even a handful of titles that held back. And there were some examples, but yeah, you need to have some consistency in whether or not you think the PlayStation 6 can be held back. But the reality is this. This is the reality that people need to face. The whole idea of generations is dead. It is completely dead. We are... This generation, we saw cross-gen expand. We talked about Marathon earlier. Apparently, that's going to be rated for Xbox last gen, Xbox One and PS4, apparently. It can definitely run on those consoles easily. Easily, you can scale it down. You can see that, how they can scale that down. So that could happen, which would be hilarious. But Call of Duty,
I've got a friend, and all she plays is Overwatch on her original Xbox One. That's all she plays.
That's mad.
And she's completely happy with that. Yeah, so, you know.
And a lot of people are happy with it. And that's the thing. Now you're going to start seeing people. I'm seeing a lot more people playing on NVIDIA. What's it called? GeForce Now. Even freaking Gene Park was talking about path tracing on GeForce Now was insane for him. Testing that out. So,
GeForce Now is great.
Like, everyone says it. It's one of those I need to test out. I don't have to, but I need to test out to see the tech as well, just from an intriguing point of how where the tech is at.
You know, we talk about like being impressed by tech and shit like this. Like, I'm always impressed when a game runs well on a low end system. Like, I couldn't believe how well, for example, Death Stranding runs on the base Xbox Ally. Looks fantastic and runs pretty damn well, high frame rates too, you know. Yeah. I know it's a past gen game, but it's also like, I find that to be really impressive when a dev like optimizes their shit really, really fucking well. Because there's so many games that come out these days which are just so badly optimized, they don't run well even on the high end systems. So oftentimes it's like when they make them run well on the low end systems, it's all the more impressive. I don't know.
No, absolutely. I mean, this is how the whole scaling thing. I don't like it. By the way, I would love a generational distinction where you cut it off. The next Xbox, just make it for that. But we are so far beyond having that as the landscape. It's just not. It's not even viable. This generation, with the prices of the next gen consoles going up to $1,000 for Xbox and all of that, cross gen is going to be massively extended. It's going to be huge. You're going to see cross-gen titles for PS5 and Series X for 5-6 years for the next-gen console. I mean, the distinction is dead. I don't like it. It's not the future I wanted, but I will say Microsoft were quite clever with their whole the masterstroke with what's it called, with the it was a masterstroke with their forward compatibility that they were talking about last gen. And I thought that was
smart delivery and all that shit.
Yeah, no, absolutely. They really were quite clever. They didn't capitalize on it in typical Microsoft fashion as strongly as they should have, but you know, whatever. So we this whole thing about, you know, this idea that you're gonna get. By the way, look at this fucking look at the graphics of this game. This is Cyberpunk. Look at that with part trace. The details on the petrol cap, it's just crazy. This game. Look at that part. You console peasants wish. It's so good. It's so good. I dare someone to sit down and watch it and say, how can you even compare it? It's not even remotely in the same universe. So We'll see. What are you expecting anything about the next Xbox console, Project Helix on the summer showcase event?
In June.
In June, yeah.
I don't know, man. I mean, it's definitely possible. I think like if they're sending out T-shirts, you know, I kind of feel like that. I mean, I don't even want to say this, but I heard a crazy rumor. And this is like absolutely just podcast fodder and speculation. You know, don't even take this as anything seriously. But I heard a crazy rumor that like they were looking at getting something out early, like earlier than expected, like
really
blitzkrieging it through. Yeah. So
blitzkrieging through.
So I don't know if you know, if some of these like random rumors that I get like pan out with regards to hardware, like maybe we could see it at the showcase, you know. A silhouette, some, you know, hints about what it'll do. But and also like I don't think Microsoft wants to work well, at least like I think Microsoft didn't want to work too much with the Game Awards anymore. So like if they are going to do something, I think it'd be like at their own show, and I suppose like, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if we did see something about Helix at this show.
I am expecting it. I'm expecting that we will see something about Helix at the show. You can't just be giving out care packages. There'll be something about it. Maybe even a reveal of what the console looks like. Actually, the physical stuff. I think that would be a really good move on Xbox's part to do that early, because it'll build up the narrative quite early on, and lead them in. Like people are going to be talking about the next Xbox, the next Xbox, the next Xbox. I think you don't have to rely on the Game Awards. You don't have to wait till the end of the year. I don't think there's any harm in talking about it now, but it seems the polls are pretty much 50-50. They don't think that the PlayStation Portable will hold the PS6 back. It's 50-50 is where that poll has ended. So yeah, interesting things. But yeah, we'll find out next week is most likely a state of play. Let's see, we'll have some good stuff. In a couple of months, we're going to have the Xbox Summer Showcase event. I think it's going to be an interesting one. JD Gamer, thank you so much for the 5, because the Xbox Series X has enough tops to run Auto SR. Why won't we see it used even by first party? And have we ever actually seen a game use the Xbox features? Broski, Xbox Series X is dead. I don't know. Listen, Xbox Series X, it's the PlayStation, Xbox guys are ready to jump into next gen already. But like just end it. Don't care about the tops. The PS5 Pro exists. The mid-gen console that's there. People want to see the next phase of it. So they'll have hopefully one SKU that they will focus on. I imagine there'll be a lot of OEM devices, but it's a PC hybrid device, and it's fundamentally changing the landscape really in terms of gaming. This is the biggest change Microsoft in terms of the hardware space has ever made in its life, in its history when it comes to consoles. This is moving. Some people call it a departure from consoles. It's actually going to be a hybrid device marrying in its more Windows processors. Whether or not that pans out remains to be seen, but on paper you can see how that can be disruptive as the rise of PC gaming keeps gaining momentum and developers now have to cater for PC or Windows first. It's a smart play where the industry is heading now and how Xbox could potentially capitalize on it and then fuck it up anyway. Ladies and gentlemen, I didn't even have the music play. But ladies and gentlemen, it has been a really good show. And effortless show. It's a good chat. Hit the like button. Smash it out. The timestamps are actually efficient as hell this time as well, so it wasn't all that crazy. Just cool down. Thank you so much for joining me and all of us as we talk about the Schleems. Tell us what's next. What are you talking about? How are you feeling? And are you losing right now?
Am I losing? Nah, we're doing well. I mean, I'm losing because Blizzard's ruining the Horde, you know, so there's that. But
they've killed the whole Alliance versus Horde thing as well, which is disgusting. Disgusting.
Well, officially they haven't, but it's just like it's so obvious it's what they want to do, you know. But is there did you say there's a PlayStation State of Play this week?
It'll be most likely. It will be next week.
There might be something Xbox fans want to tune into as well, maybe. Well, actually, Xbox fans, but in general, gaming fans, I suppose. But Xbox might have a little something next week as well, actually.
Xbox might have a little bit of something next week on the PlayStation show, State of Play.
No. Like their own show. A little show.
Oh,
maybe.
right. Interesting. Jez, look at his face. Look at analyze the veins in his face, the eyes. What's he talking
veins.
About? Chat. It's been a good chat. Gaz, did I see a semblance of tricep? You working out, Gaz? Boba Fett, we're talking about, bro. We're making some memes up in here. We're on the creatine now. We're getting shapes. We're getting shapes. I was checking myself out on the stream. I was like, yo, it's starting to take shape. Wait till you see I start to get fucking lit. Thank you. Good to see you, Boba Fett. Everyone, thank you so much. Smash the like button. It helps out a lot. I will be uploading on to Spotify. It does take like, because it's 1440p stream, it takes about a day to process. So if you're wondering why it takes so long, and then I forget to upload it, but do check it out. I promise you I'm working on a vid. It's a lot of high production. It's about Xbox. And it's not perhaps what you think it will be. Maybe. We'll see. Hit the like button. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Jez. It was a wicked chat. And we'll see you next week. Peace.
Take care, everybody.
And we are not safe.